Well, this is the first time I've ever seen this little message here. Maybe I can get in through that message.
Well, that's the access to the Wi-Fi, which normally, if you did it before, you should have just told it to remember.
Try that for the whole page. That's how I went in last time. But then this thing pops up here, which I never did before.
Hello, can you hear me? Okay, can somebody
Good
speak to see if I can
morning.
hear you?
Good morning.
Hi, Rod.
Hi.
All right, hi, everyone. Hi, Karen.
Good morning.
Chris, Jackie, who else is there? Let's see, Denise
Good morning.
and Ellen. And I'm seeing Megan and someone is VC. Who is VC?
That is my second computer. That's Denise's. I'll rename it.
Perfect. No, that's fine. As long as I know that it's one of us and not some
Okay.
person.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and head over to the chat. Hi, Mary. I see your sound is up. Okay. I was gonna try to sit down though. Hold on. That's my. Well, maybe I'll just stay up. Oh. So, yeah, I ended up coming today because last class, most of the people who are in, I don't know if I can climb on this thing. Most of, I think I'll leave it. I'll stay standing. Most of the people who are, in person didn't come to the Zoom. So I felt responsible for that. And so here I am. But I was kind of late because it took me much longer to get ready than I expected. So sorry, I'm opening a bit late. And yeah, so hello.
You got an A for effort.
Thank you. I'm connecting with my second computer. Give me a quick second. Lynn, can I ask you to turn the inside light off of those two light bulbs that are up there?
Which
Switch the one nearest to us. That one, thank you. Then we can see this much better. And let me get this connected. Okay, sorry, it's the little things I have to set up when I get here that I do before you guys connect. Anyway, were you able to get in, Barbara?
I went into this the regular way of getting in rather than the little thing that popped up.
Well, you need to show me later what it is that you did, because I don't know why or the difference, but okay. Okay, so before I continue, I just want to remind everyone that this is our. And sound out. This is the last Mac level 1 class. It should be kind of seamless that you would continue to Mac level 2, but it isn't. You have to register for Mac level 2. However much we'd want to have you just kind of appear in Mac level 2. So I'm pulling up the roster to show you who is registered for Mac level 2. That way, if you are registered, you're fine, because next Tuesday is Mac level 2. But if you're not registered, then you have time the next few days to register. So let me give you guys a view of the roster. In fact, let me do this. So I'm going to put these one next to each other. And then you guys can see if your names are on this or not. And if you're not, I can give you the CRNs. And here we go. So let me share this screen.
Yeah.
And okay, there you go. So this is Mac level 2. If your name is here, you're good to go. If your name is not here, then you need to sign up for
Yes.
invited in the chat.
Wait a minute, this is, oh, I have it. I am there.
So you need to either be in, so CR, oh, this CRN 43 201 or 44263. There we go. So I put in the chat. You had trouble registering for Mac level 2. Can I register you? No, I wish I could. I cannot register anyone. Yeah, how easy life would be if we instructors could just, help you skip all of the red tape. We cannot. But I can walk you through it. Like I can have you share your screen. I can show you what to do. So can you stay and maybe during break or after class, I can help you with that. Okay, Denise? Because
Diana, I think I know what the problem is. I also signed up for a 1-day seminar on the Saturday, and I think that's the reason why it won't let me sign up for your class. It's just a 1-day seminar.
No, if it's a Saturday, that's not the problem. It's only when the classes coincide. If you have, 10 minutes overlapping or something, but a Saturday would never be a problem for this one.
That's right. I think I misspoke. I think there's 1 day where it overlaps, and for that reason it wouldn't. So should I drop that?
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Drop that one, sign into this one.
Okay.
Then the day that one comes up, we can drop you from this one and you take one, right? And then you come back in or something like that's the only way to trick the system. Yeah, you can't.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I'll try to do that.
And then you can, a day before that one, just switch over or something like that.
Right.
Okay. Because your class is definitely more priority to me than that 1 day thing.
Yeah, well, thank you. It's just, we can't, even if it's silly because in non-credit, it's not like you guys get grades or degrees. You get a certificate if you want, but a slight overlap is nothing. But even if there's a 5-minute overlap, you cannot sign the 2 classes.
Okay.
Missing a whole day makes sense, but a slight overlap shouldn't stop you. And yet,
right.
Slight overlaps don't work.
Okay, I'll look into that, but keep in mind if you would like that, I'd like to participate. So
Great.
I'll try to do from my end. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Deanna?
Yes.
I have one quick question, and that is, it's not to do with this class, but just with the Adobe Photoshop that's in November, I tried to go online. Is that a fall class or a winter class?
It's a fall class. It's it's a fall. We don't have winter. We have fall or spring sessions. So yeah.
Okay.
I can help you. Let me see. Let me look.
But we can do it afterwards.
It's this Photoshop. It's 44240. So the
44240.
Photoshop November is 44240. There, I just put it in there. Okay.
Do you have the roster handy for that?
Do I have the roster for that? I can.
Handy?
I can make it.
Oh, you don't have to.
And there it is.
Let's see if I can.
Photoshop roster.
Down
and-
there. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, great.
Okay.
I'll sign.
I've been using Lightroom so much. I was trying to use Photoshop the other day
It is different, yeah.
and I forgot a lot of the moves.
So Carol is mentioning that my email went to her spam folder the last 2 times. Let me just stop my share. Yeah, sometimes here's the thing. And once I did that by mistake, but that I put, I sent someone, I marked someone as a junk email. And then after that, they keep going into junk. And even though it was a mistake and it takes a while to tell your computer that it's not. Another thing that could have happened there is that some emails, when they see that an email goes out to a lot of people, and this goes out, even though you guys aren't 50, it goes out to like 50 emails because I send it to your personals and your pipelines. And so it goes out to a lot of people. And sometimes email systems assume that that means that this is spam. And so then they block, my email from reaching you guys. So check your, go to your spam folder and move it back into the inbox and do it 1 or 2 times. And hopefully that'll help train it to that this is not spam. Or if it's the mail email, you can actually mark it as not junk. But if it's like a Google or something, you just need to move it back into your inbox to help train it to not do that. Okay. I'm sorry. You guys okay?
She need to mute because she not you.
I'm hearing you on my computer, plus I'm hearing you over here.
Yeah, so I
It's
need
like,
Oh, you're helping her mute. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
that's-
Mary?
Yes, that's exactly what happened to me. It went to the junk mail, and then another but you answered it already. So the other question, so you don't have winter class? I haven't attended any of these classes before. So the next session is gonna be spring? Oh, no.
Yeah, I know, it sounds weird, but the next session starts in January and it is winter for us, but for some
Oh,
reason.
January.
You're
Oh,
a
good.
semester system, so we only have fall and spring.
Oh, okay.
People who have quarters in the past, long time ago, we used to have fall, winter,
Yes.
spring, but now we went to the same semester system as all the college, and so now it's just fall and spring. But the classes, these classes go on until December, and the new session starts in January, and like January.
December. I
Right.
think we'll finish at November first.
This class, yes, but there's other classes that continue, like my Photoshop, others that continue all the way till December 16th. That's the last day of our classes here.
Oh, okay.
Mac- Mac
I'll
one's
look on. Yeah, I'll look onto that because I'm traveling next, for the next session, but
Mhm.
I want to take it. So I'm gonna register, even if I miss it, at least I'll have the recording, and then I'll look for other ones. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, all right. And then Matt,
Hi, good morning.
hi,
Um,
good morning.
Two quick questions. Well, first off, I'm on the road, so I'm only going to be here for a few minutes and I'm going to watch the video for the rest of it.
Thank you for connecting in.
I had about 25 minutes this morning. I didn't realize that this was the last class and that there's another one that I need to sign up for and I want to sign up for. And when I tried to do it, I was having a difficult time navigating to where I needed to be on Pipeline. Is it possible you can show me on your screen real quick how I would get to this class?
Yeah, so let me go ahead and do it since that's two of you guys who have this. It'll be relatively quick. First of all, you have to go to your the only problem is you know what? I can't show it to you because I'm not a student, so it shows differently. Is anyone willing to share their screen and I'll show, because you have to be a student in order to have the options to sign up.
I can show it. You want me to go to the Pipeline?
And then I can walk you through it. It's just, you basically go to Pipeline, sign in, and then you go to student, like we've taken you to Google, but instead you go and register. And then in that screen, at the bottom, you put in the CRN and then you say change. That's the one that's weird. It doesn't say submit, it says change. So
That's what I was doing
as
wrong.
long as you know how to get into your Pipeline, technically it's simple. But yeah, are you able to share your screen or not, Catherine?
Yeah, I got it up. I'll share my screen. Hold on, let me get rid of this thing. Okay,
For
hold
those
on.
of you who always come in person to share, pay attention because truly, as long as you know how to get into your Pipeline, which you do because you've come to you've all come to my handouts, it's just one button removed from that to register.
You seeing it?
All right, so there you go. So you're in Pipeline. So first of all, you have to go into Pipeline, and then once you're in Pipeline, you need to go to the word registration. So go up to registration. There you go. And then in registration, go to register, add, or drop classes.
Then you have to select the
No,
term.
no, you're there. No, not up there. You're in fall 2023 already, so then go submit. Then scroll down, and here we go. Where it says add class worksheet, you put in the CRN. So say that you sign it, just put in anything, put XXXX, never mind. And like all those boxes, go to the first one on the left. You put in XXXX, you put a number in there. And then once you go ahead and sign up for like my Photoshop, and then you can drop it.
What's the number?
44240.
Thank you.
442.
44240. And this is the only weird thing that you don't say, you say submit changes, but it was like, what change? There's no change there. Yeah, it's a word.
Want
is
me to do
submit. That's
Did I
it.
hit it?
And when you say submit changes, then don't do it unless you want to sign up. Scroll
Well,
down a bit more.
I'll go in and drop.
Okay,
yeah.
and then look up, scroll up to your classes now to show, and then see in your current schedule, now she has at the bottom Photoshop that she just signed into. Okay? So she wasn't keeping an art journal
Okay.
and to the Mac level 1, Mac level 2, and then Photoshop. Okay. That's it. That's it. It's just that. So basically you go to your
Perfect.
pipeline account, registration, add or drop classes, and then you scroll to the bottom because it looks like that. And then you just have to put in the CRN and submit changes. That's it. That's what it takes. Thank you so much for showing us that.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. And you guys are welcome to try that first. And if then if you have any issues or problem, you're welcome to come here and get help. But technically, the hard part is for people to know how to open SPCC, sign into pipeline, get their pipeline email, all that. But you guys have that one down. Registration is just one off from resources where you go to Google Drive. It's just right there. All right, Barbara, your hand is up.
Thank you for helping me with that.
You're welcome.
She's muted, but still hearing your voice from the.
Okay, let me help Barbara for a second because there's a sound issue. Let's see. You're hearing me here?
Yeah, here, here.
Hear myself here, but okay. Then let's take the sound off. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Over there.
Check. Can you hear me from your computer?
No.
Okay, good. All right, cool. Oh, one more hand. Yes, Mary? Mary, is that a new question or? Whoops. All right, looks like Mary, you're muted. I'll wait until you mute yourself. I want to say one more thing, which reminded me, by the way, when Carol said that my email went to her spam folder. I have received over the last 6 months, I'd say almost for a year now, every couple of months, so it's not frequent, but one of my students reached out to me to tell me that they're getting spam from me, truly spam. It's an email that says from Diana Musacchio, and you open it up and it says something like, you didn't open these photos, or hey, it looks like you didn't check in, something about photos usually, and there's a file or two attached. Those are the ones that have been forwarded to me. Now, if you know to look at the name, right next to the name, there's a bizarre email that is clearly spam. But if you don't know how to check what's for spam, then be careful with that. My emails will always be, you'll be able to immediately relate the title or the headline or something will say that. I will never ask you to download something cryptically like that. So if you ever get something from me, if you know to check, you'll see that it's not my email, but it says my name. And it's something that's been happening to a lot of City College teachers. Someone got a hold of our names, I guess, and they're using spam emails. So it's not our school email. It's not official. But with our names, people are getting emails that say that kind of thing. And they're usually short, like, oh, I forgot to send you this, or oh, looks like you didn't, those are the ones I've been forwarded, or check out these photos or something like that. Please do not check out the photos. That's spam and those are viruses. So just be careful. If I don't have a very specific information like Mac, and my emails always say things that are very class based, then please suspect it, okay? And if possible, forward it to me. With you without opening the files, that's what matters, right? You can read the email, but if you click on those links, that's when it gets dangerous. So don't click on the links, don't download anything. And if you can, and you know how to forward it to me and say, hey, I got this from you, because that's what then I tell the people here in IT, and they try to follow through with it. Okay, so just be careful. That's all I can say. There's like, last thing I heard, there was like 20 teachers had been targeted that way, that they were reporting that people were getting spam from them.
Probably a previous student.
I have no idea who. Anyway, so that's just a warning. Okay, hopefully you've all been forewarned and that won't happen to you. And no, it's not me sending it. Okay, so we were doing hard work and excuse me. We were okay, I'm looking at there's a question on the chat. Okay, I think I got to all the questions. Everyone else was just a comment. Okay, got it. I hear you. Thanks, Miguel, and thanks, Matt. Okay, So, we were working hard on cleaning up and clearing out our computers, right? I have to say, I appreciate a couple of you got through to me with email the other week and then today again telling me how they had actually done something they hadn't done in a long time, or that they've been told before by me and they didn't do it and they did it this time, and that it's made a difference. So yeah, trust me. Don't trust my spam emails, but trust me on this one. It does work to get some stuff in a more organized way. But most of the thing that most people distrust is when I tell them to take stuff off the desktop. Now, I'm not telling you to take everything off the desktop. If there's things you truly want to and you don't dare do the whole like alias or whatever, you can ask me for help. You can say, can you help me do this to this one? Because I don't know if I'm going to do it right. I can help you, walk you through how to put that alias so that it looks exactly the same way it's been forever and it acts exactly the same way, but it's just an alias, meaning pointing to your folder. That is the least disruptive thing you can do. And if you don't dare do it because you think you'll do something wrong, this is the time to say, hey, can you help me do it? And I'll help you do it. Like literally share your screen. I will walk you through it. That was the least destructive. Of course, then I'm going to prompt everyone to say, well, look at everything that's on your desktop and truly answer to yourself. Is this something that I need here? It just fell in here and I don't know why it's here. Poof, move it to your desktop documents. Is it here because I put it here and I need it here all the time? Sure. Then that's when we either learn to put it in a doc or something like that, or I'll help you make the alias. Okay. And if it's an image or a video, consider strongly moving it, because that's the one that'll really become a problem. All right. I've said that enough. I don't want to keep convincing you. What I want is to let you know that I'm open to you saying, I want to do it, but I don't know how. Please help me. So if that's you, please do that. Okay. Catherine, you're writing directly to me instead of to the class, but she's asking about spacebar quick preview. And that is a big part of the organizing, is to be able to see things quickly. So yeah, I'll take that question. Catherine, what's up?
Okay, so I watched it on the video because I had to leave for PT, but I didn't catch from the video how to make where you would open the first one and then you could just go down like you're in a folder. And then I didn't know, I couldn't get it to work on mine to open subsequent
Go ahead and
folders.
share your screen and we'll watch you do it and I'll tell you what you need.
Okay, perfect. Okay, thank you. Screen.
No, you can't for the quick preview open subsequent folders. You have to open them first in your Finder and then you can see what's inside the preview.
All right, well, let me just go to my Finder window.
I'm going to
Share
give
my
you
Finder.
another thing.
Okay, there's my Finder window.
So unfortunately, hold on a minute. Since you're only sharing your Finder window, when you do this, we're not going to see your quick preview. You need to share your entire desktop. So can you go?
Okay. Stop the share.
Yeah, and then now share the entire desktop. Otherwise, it doesn't share that window and we can't see it.
Okay, share screen.
Top left is your desktop always.
Oh, thank you. Oh, I see what I understand now.
Okay, got it. All right, so
Okay.
we'll click on any of those. Click on any, just click.
It was kind of more when it was in a folder. Let me just go into like here. All right, so I'm in the folder
You're
and
not in it. You're not in it. You're on the folder itself. To go in it, you need to open it.
right. There we go. Okay. Oh, and then, so then I can use so what happens
Yeah,
then?
go, you're not, so go back. That's a different name, so that's not, click on you have to click on the thing. You're not clicking on it. Go open that again. Just open it by opening the arrow. You don't even like double click onto it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, like that. Okay.
Select it. That's how it works. You need to select one under, not the folder, the file. Yeah. There you go. Now you can do a space bar. But no, hold on. This can happen. See, you held on to it enough and then you clicked one more time. And what's happened there is that she ended up getting like into the name, like it could choose the name. So if you ever get that, it's because you selected, and I'm going to show you that. if you select, not double click, but you select twice, which is what she did, and I'll do it myself. I'll share it myself.
You
So
want me
that,
to stop sharing?
no. I want you to, then you end up getting into the name, which is what happened to her. So be careful with that. Now, go ahead and hit your space bar. That's all you need to select it, hit your space bar. There's your quick preview. Now, if you want to go to the next one, just click on the next one. Just
Click with my,
Yeah,
my,
your mouse, click means select. There's your next one, okay? Nope, see, you the second time, stop. That I'm showing, oof, you undid it. I said stop. That what she just did was that second click where her name got into danger. Go and click on your file one more time, a single click right now, like
I did.
on the name. Click one more time. See that? She went into it because that's twice selecting a same thing. When you select it once, that's the only time you want to select it. When you select it twice, see how now her name, there's a cursor burning and her name will change. If you get into this mode, you have to hit the escape key. And she did it twice, which means she's probably been doing a lot. Hit your escape key right now. Yeah, so now watch. When something is selected, like this one, put your mouse on the name now. And now just click one more time. See, you go into the name, 2 clicks, not a double click, but 2, clicking something twice gets you into the name. It's a rename function. So that is not a good thing. When you have something selected, don't select it again. If you select it again, this happens. When it's selected, period. Okay, so I'm just trying to show what's happening because you did it a few times. And if you know, a lot of people do this and it's hard to show until you do this. So to get out of this safely, just hit escape. There you go. So again, it's just when something has been selected, don't select it again, okay? All right, now to move down, to keep seeing what's underneath, you can either keep selecting one by one, everything else, click select
Just
that.
one click. I see. So now it's working. I didn't know.
Yeah, select the next one.
I got you. Okay.
Plan B, you can use your arrows now. You can go to your arrows and start going, click up.
Ah, the arrow keys. Okay, thank you.
Show you little previews of everything.
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, you're welcome. Sarah, you had a question. Will we be learning how to organize photos? And no, not in this class. You will learn that when you take the Living the iLife class. And that Living the iLife class in spring and summer. I tried to put it here in the fall, but I was teaching too many classes and, you know, as a part-time instructor, if they give me more classes than that, if they get into trouble, they need to start, oh my goodness, paying me benefits. So there's a limit to what I can teach. So I couldn't teach it in the fall this time, but the Living the iLife class, Living the iLife is the weird name for the photos class. Okay. Oh, I didn't type that well. Okay, anyway, never mind. So yeah, that's my answer to you. And Mary, your hand is still up and I kind of called on you before, but you didn't answer. Is that a
Oh,
question?
no, I'm sorry. I should put it down. Sorry,
Okay,
no.
got it. And then Barbara?
Well, back to where you hit the escape, when you double clicked it, you got the full thing. When I hit escape, it doesn't go back.
Okay, so what Barbara just did, she double clicked. What happens, you guys, when you double click on a file?
You open up. the
You
whole-
open it.
Yeah, so then escape doesn't get you out of an open file. You need to actually quit and close, right? So
Oh,
if you've
okay.
opened it, you gotta close it. So let me share my screen to distinguish what I mean between one and the other. So if I were to simply select, when I say select or click, it's the same thing. Just click on it. Just click one time, one click. That's what selecting means, one click. That's all. Now, notice that if something is already selected, if I click on it one more time, I get into the name. And if I type anything, I change that name. To get out of this mess, I hit escape and I go back to the name it had. So a lot of people do that. They select something and then they select it again, trying to do a double click, but that's just too slow clicks. Now, it's a great way to rename. Instead of having to right click rename, which is the way I've taught you to do it, I actually don't do that way. When I need to change a name, I'll go, always select it. And then I hesitate, like, it's like double click is quick, but a opening to rename it is just simply click, wait like a fraction of a second and click again. Okay, so I'm going to show you. I click, pause, click. That's it. It's like click, click. Instead of click, click, which is a double click, it's click, pause, click. And then I'm in there and now I can change the name. Does that make sense? That's a
Yeah.
way to rename things. Now, if you didn't mean to do that, then and you clicked again and the name suddenly becomes bright like that, then hit escape to get out of that. And if you click one more time and then you click again, then it turns white. And now it's like you have to delete it and whatever, and it's a mess. So again, hit escape. So anytime you don't want to change the name, hit escape. So everyone try it with a file any file, just click one time and then literally count a half a beat, a half a breath and click again. Just slower than the double click. And then boom, click again, and then your name is there. And now you can amend it, change it, rename it. So it's the way I rename things versus right click. I hesitate to teach it sometimes because then people start getting confused with when do they double click, when do they not? This is just a selection, a single click, but you do it again to the same thing. And it's just waits long enough. Now, a lot of times people try to double click and they do it slowly. And they're trying to double click and then this happens. And that's because their double click was slow. And thus they end up getting into the name and then they go, oh, what's happening? I can't open it. So if you have trouble with your double click, if double clicking is hard for you, sometimes depending on your hand, your mouse, your whatever, then instead of double clicking to open, you can always right click and open. That is the equivalent of double click, and right click and rename is what you do if you just simply click one more time. Okay, so both of them have their ways to do it. And right click if the mouse thing is complicated. Hopefully that helped. If that didn't help and it didn't work for you, please ask me and I'll show you. But the other thing I was showing Catherine is that once something is simply selected, so just selected, that's what you need to do. When you hit the space bar, that's when you get the quick preview, right? And then if the quick preview is up already and all you do is select the next one and then select the next one and then select the next one, this is in the way so I can't, and select the next one and select the next one, see how it keeps showing me the quick preview each time. Now that's what that's all about. Since it hides, the other thing I was showing her is that sometimes when you hit the preview, to keep going down, you can use your arrows. I'm gonna hit my down arrow to the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one. And I'm just hitting my down arrow. And that's why that thing on the right is changing, okay? It's just me hitting the down arrow and I started looking over here and I'm down over here. So that's just a quick way to look at what we have in our folder in order to organize it. Now, the other thing she said is that, and today I'm going to talk about the recents folder, but the other thing she said is that it doesn't work with folders. And nope, it doesn't. When you hit on a folder, it just gives you a folder preview. You can't see until I can go up and down, 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 and all I'm going to see is little folders. I need to actually have opened it and then have, I think I don't have anything in this one. I need to have opened that folder, right? I need to open that. And then when I have files and I see more folders within folders, folders within folders, it works on actual files, okay? It doesn't work on, well, not that it doesn't work. It works. It shows you a preview of that thing, and the preview of a folder is a folder, right? So you need to actually be inside a folder. So now I have two more things I'm going to show you today about all of this, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the recents folder. But first, I want to hear from you guys. Give me yeses or nos. I'm putting my mouse in a different, I'm going to stop my share. Give me a yes. Oh, wait, Barbara, your hand is up?
Yeah, I just want to make sure I have the script. So if you accidentally double click and you open up the whole document,
Mhm.
the only way to do it is hit the red dot on top and get completely out of it.
No. In fact, yes, but no. Here, let me answer the question. You might have not heard it. So what happened here is the question was, if you do accidentally double click and open the whole thing. So I'm gonna double click on this one, which is a PDF. If I double click, what happens is you're opening it and it opens in the application, right? In her case, she had opened something that opened in Pages, whatever. If I open on a PDF, it's gonna open in Preview. If I open a PSD, it's gonna open in Photoshop. So the actual application opens up. So she said, the only way to get out of this is it to click on the red dot. And you guys might remember, you weren't here in the Mac level 1, in Intro to the Mac, were you? You were, okay, so then you guys, do you remember that you do not close applications from the red dot?
That's right.
Click the red dot, and this is just a direct answer to your question. I will close this file, boom, but look what stays open, the application. So don't forget that you need to quit the application. So once again, if I double click on a file, so I'm going to click on it again. Let me see, what should I click on? Let me click on this roster. If I double click on this, what file is this? It's an XLSX, which means it's an Excel file. So if I double click, what's going to happen is that Excel is going to open up. And in fact, I might be wondering, there it is, Excel is opening up. And if I click from here, I will just get rid of this file and Excel will stay open. So what I need to do is make sure that I remember to quit the entire program, which can be done from here or with a shortcut Command Q, okay? If I can click on this and do one at a time, but if I just go and quit, both close at the same time. If instead I quit the file that opened up, then I still have to quit the program, okay? So, but if you quit the program, the file closes as well. So that's if you double click and suddenly the thing opens, just, close it. Sorry, I do need to try to sit. Okay, let me lower your hand and off we go. Okay, so the whole time we've been talking, I'm gonna stop this share and share from my other computer, which I have a few more things on this one, so it's gonna work better. Actually, hold on, I need to get the mouse for this computer. The whole time, so anyway, I had asked you guys to answer and only one person answered. I'm noticing now, thank you, Lynn. But can you guys tell me, those of you everyone who's in class, so everyone, I need 3 types of answers. Give me a yes if you feel like you have done the most you can about organizing your files. Like you did your best. Not that you finished it or completed it, but you're on your way, you're doing your best, you don't need help, it's happening, you're good with it. Give me a no if you just didn't do it yet, or you were intimidated, or you had issues, or it became so hard that you didn't do it, or you just kind of want to wait and see before you do it because you don't think you know enough. Give me a no. And then raise your hands if you have any question about it that you want me to answer to help you on your way. All right, so it's okay to be, by the way, I completely understand that you can say no and not want my help. Just tell me no, I'm just not doing it yet. I'll take the class again and I'll do it next time. But right now I'm just kind of absorbing. There's all different reasons. It's not me that you need to justify to. I'm just teaching you these things and you get to do it or not. But if you want to do it and you had an issue and you need help, raise your hand, okay? And everyone has to answer something. So guys, all right, Catherine.
Okay, my questions are, I had some files I did not, when we did the large file checkup, to identify, I had some I didn't recognize. And one was called average underlying Mac security online DMG. And I just didn't know if that was an important thing. I didn't want to get rid of it.
Application for.
Can you go ahead and share your screen and show it to me?
All right, let me go back into where I need to be, which is I need
I
to.
want to show you how to read the path bars so that you can begin to have some kind of an idea.
Oh, I didn't think about looking there. Okay, so I'm going into general storage. It was was, where did I say it was in? It
Catherine,
was-
share your screen so that I can walk you.
Oh,
through.
okay. All right, hold on one second. Let me share my screen, sharing screen. And I'm sharing, you want me to share it as the desktop or the
Yes,
system
Because
set?
they're gonna sit in different places. And I'm glad this question is good, guys, because you find things and you don't know how to, find them or what to do.
Okay, so here is
Documents
where
and go
I
to the
am.
little I that's to the right of the document, right there.
Yep. And then I go to large files, which is up.
Mhm.
Where is, oh, maybe it was here it is. Can you see this one?
Yeah, let me,
That's an application
and
folder.
I'm sharing the wrong screen to my students here. Let me move
Yeah,
this.
that's what I figured. It's already been put in my Mac, but I didn't want to get rid of it.
All
or-
right, so, first of all, it's a DMG. What did I say that DMG was?
Application.
It's an application, it's an installer. It's not an application, it's an installer for an application. So this is an installer for an application. On top of that, it talks about security and about online, and you don't know what it is. So all of that makes me be suspicious. On top of that, I look at the last access in March. If it's an installer and it's from March, could move to the right and see what I mean, how I could tell that it's from March. There it
Yeah.
is. If it's from March 2023 and it's an application that's an installer, either it's already been installed or by this point it's old, especially it's got to do with security. Security is things that update every few weeks.
Right.
You can select it though, and let's see the path. Select it. And down there, you'll see that it's in where?
Downloads.
Yeah,
On
so
my
it's something you
computer.
downloaded. So it's not a system folder, it's nothing. I would 100% say get rid of it. It's an application. Wait, you need to scroll to see it again because now you've kind of left it behind to make sure you're deleting the right thing. So go up and scroll down a bit because now you're hiding it. The path is.
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, you got the right. So you see, guys, how I made my deductions?
Thank
First
you.
of all, I saw that it was an installer, a DMG is a disk image. Then I figured out, well, it's old. For an installer, that's old. For a security thing in particular. And it's in her download. So it's not a system file, it's not a Mac file. It's something that has to do with security. Maybe you downloaded some kind of a spam protecting program, who knows? If so, if it's from March, it's old. If not, if you did, you would remember it. It's either running or not running. You maybe downloaded it and didn't make it run. You left it sitting there. In which case, don't run it. Because maybe it's something that came in as spam with connected to other thing and it's sitting there waiting for you to open it to see what it is. Just don't. If you need it, you'll know that you don't have it. If you don't even know what it is, I would just immediately delete it.
Yeah, that's why I didn't want to open it because I thought it could be spammy.
Yeah, I just wanted to talk you through the process so
Yeah,
everyone can see how I made my deductions because I don't know what it is any more than you do. I can make deductions based on the name, the position, the time, and go, yeah, definitely get rid of it. And then here I'm seeing another DMG, for example. There you go. Also from March 23, telegram.dmg.
Delete it.
You have no idea what it is, perchance?
No, I know what it is.
Okay, you said cancel them. Say delete and say it. Okay.
Okay.
Delete.
And
And
then,
then right above you have Canva. So again, you might want Canva. First of all, that's a DMG, but it's from 2022, October 2022. Select it so people know what I'm talking about. Canva is an application that you might be using, and I know you do use that, but
Yeah.
that's an old version. And the whole
Right.
point is it stayed in your downloads. I'm looking down there and it's still in your downloads. Remember, always
yeah.
look at the path. If it's in your downloads and you've already installed it and it's from 2022, by now you should have already updated to a new one. So this is your old one. Go ahead and delete it.
great. These are the ones I was going to ask you about.
So
So,
it's great. And then I see there that you have a zipped archive from 2021. If you
Yeah.
used it already, then fine. Oh, yeah, I even see it. I see right
Yeah.
above it is the actual video, but both of them
Mhm.
weigh the same amount. So get rid of the zip. You might want to get rid of the video too. I don't know.
yeah,
but
I
for
think I had to zip it to send it to her. Yeah.
sure you can get rid of the zip. Okay.
Great.
Does that
Okay.
makes sense, you guys, what I'm doing with her? I'm just kind of pointing to things that show, like here you have two of the exact same things called copy, but wait, look in the right and see if they are the exact time. Because one
Oh,
might
they
be,
are the exact time.
yeah, and you click on one and click on the other and look at the path. You might have a copy in a different place, Or you might have, so click on one, select. And this one is in your Microsoft downloads as of 10/16/23. And now click on the next one.
This is so good. Thank you so much.
Click, well, you need to scroll up so that you can click on the second one, because you kind of, yeah, click on the one right under it. And that one is also in the Microsoft Doc. So they're in the same exact place, which is why one had to have a copy name to it, because by being in the same place, they couldn't have the same name. So Apple added the word copy. I would get rid of, especially if the date is time, see 10:31 a.m. is exactly the same. You can assume that it's identical, so you can get rid of, no, not that one, the one underneath, the one that says copy. You have those two. Yeah, you're on the movie. That one.
Oh, I thought, oh God, yeah, I don't want to lose that.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can delete that one. Okay.
Oh,
And I'm
I see.
and
Yeah.
And I'm seeing that you have quite a few of those. If you go underneath, you see source cards 1, copy, source cards 1.
Yeah,
source
yeah,
cards
yeah.
copy. If you look there, the times and dates are
Right, yeah.
identical. So those
Okay.
are all exactly the same thing. So go
Great.
in and choose which one to keep and get rid of the rest.
Great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So this
Thank
is a
you.
really good really good example of how to do it, you guys, to really compare, right?
And then I on my computer, I had something called a panel editor that I didn't recognize at all. Maybe that was in the cloud. I went into the cloud, like you said, too. So, okay, great. Thank you so much. I'll get off screen and get rid of those duplicate source cards. Thank you. Did I stop my share? Yeah, I did.
Do share already. So hold on, because Barbara has, oh, wait, but your hand is behind Jackie's. Jackie?
Okay, so I cleared out my downloads and then I organized my documents. So I have, you know, the specific number of major, you know, of folders. There were 3 items from 2013, and they were labeled point PPT.
PowerPoint?
And so oh yeah, PowerPoint. So, and I want to keep them. But when I tried to open them, I got the message, there's no application, search the App Store. So I went to the App Store and it said template, honeycomb, office, work,
Let me
get.
stop you. Let me stop you. A PowerPoint application is Office PowerPoint. So Office is a set of, Office is a, hold on, this thing it's moving. My cart just moved and I almost fell over. There we go. I had to stop it. Office owns Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, and many others. So if you don't have that application installed on your computer, you can't open it unless you use another application parallel to that. And in this case, Mac comes with, for free, comes with Keynote. Keynote is what opens PowerPoint applications. So you don't need to go buy PowerPoint to open it. You can just download, if you don't have it yet, for free, the Mac application called Keynote and open it using that. But if you want to have one last thing, if you do want PowerPoint, Word, and Excel, as a SBCC student, you can download it for free. So just wanted to interrupt that before I forget. You can have Office for free on your computer as a SBCC student, if that's your intent. But you would not get it from the App Store, because she was told, go to the App Store. The App Store is where you buy applications, but you would buy it as a regular user. You guys are students. If you want it, I can show you how to get to the Mac for free from school in order to get it without paying for it. Okay. Keep telling me your story then. I just wanted to clarify those things for people. Yes.
So I'm thinking at the moment, to keep things simple, I would just maybe like to access it through Keynote. So maybe you could share how that's done.
Yeah, so if you're a Mac user, you can download Keynote, and you can do that from the App Store. Do you want to share your screen and I can show you?
Sure.
So Keynote, Pages, and Numbers are Mac's equivalent to Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. Okay, go ahead and share your screen meanwhile while I'm talking. And Mac applications. And the main reason I'm doing this isn't like, oh, guys, well, I don't need Keynote and I'm going to just tune out. You guys know. I'm doing this because it's important to know how to download applications into your computer, especially as you're trying to organize things, you find that you can't open them. What do? By the way, beautiful documents folder there. And yeah, so let's go to the App Store. And the App Store could be that you still have it in the dock if you've never moved it out of the way. There's an icon in the dock, which if you've never gotten rid of it because you didn't like adapt it, then there it is. That you just opened it. Go ahead and quit so I can show another place because many people might have by now. Go ahead and say Command quit or App Store quit. I go up to the top to the App Store and say quit. And the reason I want to show you this is because if you don't use the App Store much, and I've told you to clear out your dock of things you don't use, you might have gotten rid of it from the dock. So the other way to get to the App Store is go to the Apple. Yep. Click on Apple. Click. I'm not seeing, are you clicking on it? You should see a menu.
I see the menu.
Are you right clicking or something? No, just a single click. Maybe your mouse isn't completely on the Apple. Click on the Apple again.
Okay, so what I'm seeing is about this Mac, system settings, location.
Funny, the
things.
menu isn't sharing itself. Okay, do you see App Store right there? Click on it. We're not seeing the shared menu, which is weird, but there you
There
go.
we go.
So it's up there under the Finder Apple icon. There, for those of you who don't have it in the dock, you go to the Finder, and it's one of the things you open from there is the system settings, system preference, and the other one is the App Store. Okay, so here you are in the App Store. Now you can go to the search and write Keynote. On the left, on the top bar and above Discover, there's a little search. So this is searching the App Store, not the your computer doesn't have it. It's searching the App Store. So write Keynote. Keynote for Mac. There it is. It's, yeah. And there it is, Keynote. And it says Get. So click on Get. Install. And it's going to ask you to sign in. So if that's your Apple ID, say, yep, sign in, and then put in your password, which we will only see dots. So you're okay.
Okay.
Apple ID password. Because they want to make sure that it isn't a rogue person installing things on your computer. That's why they want to make sure that it's you being okay with it and ask you for your password. And there it is. It's installing. Do you want to use Touch ID for other purchases? If you say yes, then you won't have to put your password in there. You can just use Touch ID in the future. And there you go. See over there how that little place where it said install now has a little ball that's kind of filling in. When it's done, it'll have done downloading and it'll say open. And once you open, there you go. You'll have it installed. Okay. So
Wow.
that's how simple it is to install things. Now underneath looked underneath before that finishes, it says Microsoft PowerPoint. And it says Get, but right under Get, it says in-app purchases or something like that. Because that one has to be paid for. And if you sign up for it here, you're going to have to pay for it. So if you do guys want Microsoft PowerPoint or Word or Excel, you'll have to, I can show you how to do it for free for school. Anyway, up there, go ahead and say open because it changed already. And there you go. See on the bottom in your dock how something isn't in your dock. It's opening up. Welcome to Keynote. Continue. There you go. It's been installed. Okay.
Wow. Thank
So
you
now,
much.
if you, yeah, and now you can do the same thing for Pages, which is the equivalent to Word, and for Sheets, which is the equivalent to, oh, you have Pages there. I can see you have Pages already because it's in your doc.
I use that a
Have
lot.
Keynote, and then Sheets would be the equivalent to Excel. Okay. Now, if you go and open that PowerPoint application, it might just open in Keynote now that you have it, or you might have to say right click, open with Keynote, and it'll open in Keynote. Okay.
Great. Thank you so much. That's such a
You're
big help.
welcome. You're welcome. So that's the App Store. It helps you buy apps. Barbara.
Well, wanted to just ask a question of her. Can't you just go to Launchpad and shouldn't it be in there if you have a Mac?
Great question. No, Launchpad is going to show you all the applications that are installed in your computer. And if Keynote is not there, it won't show it to
But I
you. So
thought Apple comes with Keynote.
not always. No.
Oh, okay.
Do you have it in yours? Yeah, so it's a good question. Sometimes Macs come with Keynote pages and numbers and stuff, sheets, numbers and tape. Not Sheets, I'm so wrong. Sheets is the Google Docs version of Excel. I'm so sorry. It's Numbers is the name of the one that's Excel for the Mac. Sheets is the Google's word for their version of Excel. And Apple's version of Excel is Numbers. So Pages, Numbers, and Keynote, for some people come and start on their computers and for some people don't. And I'm not really sure what the difference is, but Barbara's asking because she just bought a computer and Keynote is there already installed on her computer. So she figures, hey, it's there in the Launchpad. Launchpad shows you things that are installed. And in her case, it's installed, but in Jackie's case, it's not. So that's fine. Just download it. It's free. And I think it has, and it depends on what operating system you were using when you bought your computer, whether it's already installed or not, and stuff like that. So that's all. Okay.
My main question is back a couple of things. When you were on your documents and you were opening it up, okay? That lady, whoever talked a couple of things ago, at the very bottom of hers, she had delete and done. And I don't have.
She was
So how do I get
inside,
that?
you missed the class last week. So if you watch the recording, it's a feature I taught on Tuesday. Okay, so you don't have it because, so I'm gonna just kind of skip on that and let you
Okay.
watch the recording. It's a different tool that helps you do things by large files and stuff. So yeah, watch the recording and it's, yeah, it's a great tool, but I don't want to redo that conversation. So yeah, thanks. Sarah.
Yeah, what happens for me is that I did organize my documents, right? And yet, and I put in a PDF file into the proper thing, but it still shows in recents like a and I want to get rid of it in recents.
No, I'll talk about recents right now. I'm about to teach recents and then you'll see why it's still there. Okay, so
Okay.
if there's any other questions, I will be about to teach recents right now. Let me see. Do I have any other questions or answers on that? Question? Yes, no, people answering about whether they did it or not. Okay, great. No burning questions for me to answer. So let me share my screen and talk to you.
She raised.
Carol has a raised hand. I don't see a raised hand
Yeah,
from
she
Carol.
raised her hand.
Oh, your actual hand. There you go. Yes, Carol, I didn't see it. Thank you.
That's the problem. I've never on Zoom with you or anything else been able to find the hand or yes or no or whatever you guys are clicking. Where do I find that?
I got it. I'll show you. It's just that before you were in person and now you've been on Zoom. And so you missed that first time when I taught it. So yeah, go
I can
to,
go back and look at it. That's okay.
it's very quick. No, this one's quick because it matters because I want the answer. So, can you see when you put your mouse over like the videos and stuff, you see how you can see on the very far left side, the word mute to mute and unmute yourself?
Yes.
So now if you keep going to the right, you probably see video and you might even see chat. There's things that you cut moving to the right, you see. Keep going to the right. And then at some point you'll see a smiley face called reactions.
Oh,
Click on the reactions and there you go. At the very bottom of that list is the raise hand to raise your hand.
very
And
cool.
And in the
Thank you.
middle, you have the green yes and no to say yes and no and stuff like that. You're
Love
welcome.
it.
Cool.
Thank you.
All right, let me share my screen now and let me begin to explain what this whole recents thing is all about. So I'm sharing right now from my older computer, the Monterey, but this makes no difference if it's Monterey or newer. It's the same for everyone everywhere. On the left side, we've been talking about desktop and documents and downloads, and some of you have this in the cloud and some of you don't, doesn't matter. Yours should look somewhat like this, right? And we have applications. Then we all have a thing called recents and a thing called AirDrop. So those two things are the only things that aren't like rooms in my computer. Applications is a room in my computer. Holding my applications, desktop, documents, downloads, these are different folders in your computer, specifically different folders that hold different things that you own. In fact, I showed you that if you click on one, it shows you right here where it is. So this file is in downloads, which is in Diana Musacchio's computer, which is in my users for my Mac OS. If I go to documents and I click on something that's in here, actually this computer doesn't have stuff much. So this one is a file that is, and see, it's so many folders that it kind of doesn't even show me well. I can't even read what's in what. So one thing I can do is I can put my mouse in here, go to this one, it'll tell me it's in my Zoom folder, that's in my documents, that's in my user, which is in Mac OS, right? So that when your window is too small and they're all collapsing because it's folder within folder within folder within folder within folder, you kind of have to hover over it to have it tell you what the names of the folders are, otherwise they're collapsed. Okay, so we got that. This is specifically in the documents folder. It's in a different place than the desktop, and it's a different place in the applications, which is a different place in the downloads. These are 4 main places. We all seem to have, at this point, agree upon that. No matter that these two sometimes also, for some of you, are also reflected in the cloud, but they're still different places. All right, good. Now, what in the world is Recents? Well, Recents is not a place. It's just an organizational sorting list. And you're like, what in the world is she talking about? Let me back up. When I go here to documents and I want to organize this by alphabetical order, I click on name. And I've told you how inside of the documents folder, if I click on the word name, things organize themselves by alphabetical order, backwards, or one more time, forwards from A to Z. Once again, backwards or forwards. So it's just an organizational sorting kind of feature to help me find stuff. Or I want to sort them by the date they were modified. So I click over here and I get the newest one that was modified and then older dates, right? If I go to my downloads, I also can go to kind, and it's sorted by the kinds of files. So this is all sorting. Do you see what I mean by sorting? I choose to sort these things by date added. I choose to sort them by folder. I choose to sort them by size, or I choose to sort them by name by clicking on these things. All right, Recents is a sorting organization that happens to be on the sidebar instead of up here. And it's the most recent files used. So it's equivalent to say, show me things by name, show me things by kind, show me things by date last opened, basically. And that's what Recents is. So all of these files that it's showing me can be anywhere, and it's just a sorting organizational. In fact, I'm going to stop this share and show it to you from my other computer, because on this one I have things that I have used lately versus in that computer. All the stuff is a bit older. So let me actually go back and share it from this computer to keep having a better example. All right, so here's my Recents. And in my Recents, hold on. Oh, I'm in my teaching. I was like, why is this here? I'm in my real computer. I didn't sign into my teaching account here, so I'm in my real account, meaning I have other stuff in here. Okay, ignore that. Here's my Recents. So what my Recents is doing, it's organizing things by date last opened. That's it. But if I deleted this and didn't have this, I could go to any of these folders and say date last open, and I would be seeing the same thing. But by having them in Recents, by having a choice called Recents, then this is the last thing I opened yesterday at 6:29 p.m. Then that was the next to last yesterday at 6:29 p.m. Then this was the next to last yesterday at 6:28 p.m. Then this, October 17th, which is 2 days ago at 4 p.m., and so on and so forth. Now pay attention, I'm going to make this a bit smaller. That this is not a place, because look down here at the path. Let me make it even smaller so you guys can see. Hold on, here we go. Screenshots is in my desktop. PowerPoint is in my downloads. Magnet Pfeiffer Crimson, oh, that happens to be in my downloads too. Oh, it's the, guys, it's the earthquake test. Did you guys get the message? Okay,
No?
everyone look at your
Uh-uh.
phones.
Didn't
Everyone
get
look
it.
at your phones. It's 10:19 a.m. And there's a test of the earthquake system. And right now, if you have signed in to that, you should have received on your phone a message. This is not a City College thing. It's a California testing of the earthquake system. And at 10:19 today, it's like a California-wide test. And if you don't have anything in your phone or at home or in your computer, that means you're not signed in to the warning system.
Wow.
Who got the message? I just got it. Did you guys get it?
No.
Anyone at home get it? All right, so the whole point is that they're doing these tests for people to learn how to be forewarned. And just now, I just got a message. And by the way, yesterday I had been warned, all teachers have been warned all over California, that at 10:19 a.m., a test of the earthquake system was going to happen. And supposedly what we should be practicing right now is drop, roll, drop, or hold on, which I am not going to do because my belly is going to kill me, but that was the whole point. But most importantly for me, it's that you should have been warned. And if you didn't get it, then you need to sign up. So if you look at your pipeline emails, an email went out yesterday to students describing this whole earthquake thing. Go later to your pipeline emails, and in there you can click on find out how to get warned about these things, okay? And one of them is the whole educational shape out system, whatever, not educational, California-wide. They're testing it out in schools and in, government buildings and stuff like that. You got a warning 20 seconds after the earthquake. You mean the one from like a month or two ago?
Yeah, I felt the earthquake and got it, the warning 20 seconds afterwards.
Yeah. So, which if you weren't in the earthquake, it might be good to know, but if you were in it, there's a thing, there it is. Are you guys getting it now? Okay. So
On my phone.
this is the City College picking up from that message is warning, and you guys might not be seeing this. Am I sharing my screen with you guys? Are you seeing this?
Mm-hmm.
No, only in the background on your overhead.
Yeah, we're not seeing.
Okay, so on my computer and on all of Pipeline, anyone who's connected to Pipeline here at school right now is getting this big alert. And it's Great California Shakeout Drill is occurring now. Please participate by drop, take cover, and hold on, which I am not gonna do, but you're welcome to practice it. What's that? So that's what this is, and it's happening all over the country, and it's just 1 minute. It's a 60-second thing. Now, I have downloaded an app, just so you know, that's called, I believe, Shake Out or Shake or something like that, which what they're trying to do with that app is to warn you, they get, if the country, if the systems, you know how sometimes they can tell a minute ahead of time or 30 seconds ahead of time, they can warn you. And my phone actually warned me a minute ago before this started happening. So, and just in case, it's not a bad idea, and it prepares you to prepare. So if anyone's interested, you can download the Shape. What's it called? Shape. Trying to remember.
Is it My Shape?
I believe it could be My
Earthquake
Shape.
warning.
Let me see. Shake. My Shape. Yeah. My Shape. And if you download My Shape, then I have the report of all the drills and the tests and the Ojai one and all of that. So anyway, that's just a thing. Okay, it'll be over in a couple of minutes. Sorry, in a minute and 60 seconds. I can't do anything because my computer has been taken over by this. So I have to wait.
Well, you can drop, go to the bottom, it's the love and close.
Oh, acknowledge and close.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is. Acknowledge and close. There you go. Perfect. And let me acknowledge and close on the next one.
And I went to my SBCC pipeline and you can just go down and scroll down and it lets you register. I just registered for it.
Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
go to your pipeline emails, and yesterday they sent out a warning saying this is gonna happen tomorrow, and they have all the information of how to register for the warning so that you'll get the warnings, okay?
Yeah,
So go
it's
read that
super
email.
easy.
Yeah, you just need to text a number and you're signed in, okay?
I don't want to get warned.
Okay.
And the shake is bad enough in my house, but to get warned, I'm gonna be, oh, what's gonna fall next?
Right, then don't. It's the same warning system though, that would warn you if a fire is coming towards your town and stuff like that, which definitely is something that I would want to be warned about, because yes, you can't do that much about an earthquake. Or run and get your baby or something. I don't know what you can do about an earthquake if you have 30 seconds ahead of time, but you can certainly do something about fires. Anyway, or tsunamis or things like that. It's just it's the number that California texts you with a warning. Of course, that implies that you have a phone nearby-ish, right? But anyway. All right, so now that you've learned that portion of the lesson, let's continue. Because my whole share got dropped when I was doing that. And yeah, remember to go to your pipeline and look for the great shakeout. It's from Emma. The email came from Emma yesterday and it went to everyone who's a student. Okay. So back to explaining the recents. Okay, so people keep saying, I keep hearing repeatedly, I want to delete this thing from the recents. And I really, really, really want to explain to you guys, the recents is not another place. It is not another place. It is not a duplicate. It is nothing like that. It is just a sorting mechanism. So that if you click in recents, it'll show you which files you last used in order of when you last used them. But they're all over the place. This one is on your desktop. This one is in my downloads. This one is also in my downloads. I have so many of these. Meeting saved is in Zoom. Terreno Conar is this in a folder called desktop stuff in my desktop. So if I keep going down, a lot of this stuff will be showing up in different places. It has nothing. This one is in my downloads. Okay, so none of this has anything to do with where it is. This is just what I used last. So as I go to from the top, yesterday, October 17th, 15th, 7, October, September. If I keep going down, 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 I'm going to go all the way down to when I started using this computer, because I received it I believe in May. So there you go. That's my this is in JPEGs to be organized, which inside of my document, which is my iCloud Drive. So that's what it is. And you can't delete this, because if you delete this, you're deleting the file wherever it is, right? It's not a second file, a repeat. It's just a different place for the exact, it's pointing you to where it is. It just shows you which you opened last. For some people who might not remember where they put something, they might not remember where it was. They might remember they opened it last week or a month ago. So you can kind of go over here and go, let me see last month. Oh, there it is, So it's just one more organizational feature. The thing is, though, that if you delete it because you want to clean this up, you're deleting that file that happens to be in the Zoom folder in your documents. It's not a second file. Is that clear? It's not taking more space in your computer or less space. It's just showing you things organized by date it was last open. And if you go to yours, you might find that you have files from, I don't know, years and years and years ago there. Who knows? Or maybe the recent began again when you updated your system. Mine goes all the way down to May 2020. Okay. Actually, not even, because I didn't have this computer in May 2020. So this is from my whole cloud thing. Yeah, so it goes down for quite a while. Any questions? Is that unclear? Is that like, what? I don't know. So Catherine's like, I have 5,000 files and my recent started in 2021. So in her computer, the tracking for recent started in 2021. Those 5,000 files are files that exist in her computer in different places. And if she were to try to delete them from here, it would delete from the place it lives in because this is not a repeat. Another thing is that if you try to double click from here, it'll open up and whatever it needs to open. So it's a perfectly usable way to access your files. It's just an organized by date kind instead of organized by place. If you know where it is and you go to your documents and you go to your folder called financial, there it is. But if you know that in April last year, you did your taxes and you're going to look for it, well, maybe head down to about around April last year and it should be there. You forgot where you got it. You know that you do your taxes in April or maybe earlier than that. Then go down to April of last year and hopefully you'll see your taxes file there. It's just one more way of finding things. Does that make sense, you guys?
Mm-hmm. What?
Sarah, yep.
Yeah, well, when I went into recents, okay, and there were like two images. One was like archive iCloud and the other one was just iCloud. And it was the same image.
Mm-hmm.
So can I delete, what should I do with that? I understand that you have one in iCloud and then you have iCloud archive.
If you have something in the cloud, another in archive, it's two different places. Do you have your stuff in your iCloud? Your stuff is in the cloud or in your computer? Like
On my cloud.
It's on the computer.
Well, actually, the thing is I do have it in the cloud, but I have not used that much on my computer. So it's also in my computer, I think.
Well, if it's in the cloud, it's in your computer. It's the same thing. Please remember, if things are in the cloud, they're the ones you're seeing in your computer. Again, it's not two different places. It is one, unless you kind of messed up a little bit like Catherine did. You do not have files in two different places. If you have one Apple ID, your cloud stuff that's in your computer is in the cloud. That is the same thing. If you delete it from your computer, it'll delete from the cloud. If you delete it from the cloud, it'll delete from your computer. If you delete it from your phone, it'll delete from your computer and the cloud. Like it's all one thing. I think I came upon this example of broadcasting for the first time, which wasn't a bad idea. Imagine if there's, 5,000 people watching a show. It's being broadcast in all of our TVs, and suddenly the person who distributes the show decides to take it off the system. It'll turn off in all of our TVs. We won't see it because it has been deleted. But it is one program broadcasting itself to 10,000 places. So every one file that you have is showing itself in different places, but it is the one file, and you don't want to get rid of it. But you can use it from any one of them. You can go into your computer at home and use it. You can use your phone and use it. Just like at home, if you have 5 TVs, you can watch the same program in 5 different rooms, right? It is one file that you are seeing in 3 or 4 different places. So when you say, well, I've used it in the computer, but not in my cloud, well, it's the same file. So if you're using it, you're using it. 99.9% of us don't ever work out of the cloud. The cloud is not something most of us access. We access our phones or our computers or our iPads. That's where we access our files from. I've done this in other classes. I have not done it here, but I'm going to do it now because some of you might have not experienced it. I'm going to show you how to access that cloud, that mythical cloud place that we're talking about is an actual place. And some of you might have already done it with me. Some of you might have not. I don't know, but let me show you. I'm going to share my screen. And everyone, go ahead and be prepared to do this. If you've already done it, you can do it again. What I'm about to do is show you that cloud place. Let's go ahead and open the internet. I'm going to open Safari or Firefox, anything. I'm going to open Safari. And I'm going to go to iCloud.com. Everyone go to iCloud.com. You can do this from any browser. It doesn't need to be, sorry, iCloud, I typed wrong, iCloud.com. Okay, so here I am, I'm in iCloud. Is everyone there? I need you guys to do this. If you've already done it, just do it again to make sure you can still do it. And if you've never done it, you definitely have to do this. What?
Access to the web page is blocked.
Access to the web page is what? Give me a second.
iCloud, yeah.
iCloud.com. When you get there, you need to sign in. And how you sign in is by putting in your password, your iCloud ID and your password. You can continue with Touch ID. If you had saved that before, you can use a different Apple ID, whatever it is you do. So
I'm
then,
using my personal ID,
what's that?
using my personal ID. Sign.
Your Apple ID. It's the only one you have is your Apple ID. Right? So actually, I need to disconnect from this computer and open up in the teaching computer. Give me a second. I'll be back. But you guys, meanwhile, do that. Get into your iCloud. And what might happen is you might need to do a 2-factor authentication. It might send something to your phone. So when you're done, I'll be here on the other computer, but I'm about to disconnect for this one for a second. I'm going to clear your feedback. Once you're in your iCloud account, please give me a yes. Okay, give me a little yes. And I will connect to my teaching account on this other computer. Give me a second. Because I've been mistakenly using my personal account and I don't want to
It
go
gave
into
me
my
two
personal.
choices. One is password, one is passkey.
Give me a chance to share Zoom again. I need to connect to Zoom and then I'll help. Okay, I'm gonna definitely have to figure out how to sit after break. Okay, I'm back in on my other computer. All right, so I'm going to share my screen again. And here we go. Let me go to SBCC. Let me go to iCloud.com. Sorry, I had, okay, iCloud.com. Hit enter and now sign in. And now it says, now I'm signing into my school account, continue with password. And
How come when you keep school and keep school?
sorry. It's the school password and I keep typing it wrong again and again. And every time I type it wrong, I go, oh, that's true. It's the other one. All right. So basically, looks like there's some new features. What are they? I haven't been here for a bit. Try to take action, stay up to date, and new features, update designs. Okay, whatever. All right, so here I am. This place, iCloud.com, this is that place that I've been saying holds all your stuff. And if in fact your computer dies, all the stuff that those of you who have your stuff connected to the cloud, which is, I don't know, about 70% of you guys, maybe, is here. So here is everything that I have. Here are my photos, okay? Here is stuff that I have in my drive. Here is the notes that I've taken on my phone. So these are all the apps that if I open these things in my computer or in my phone or up here or in an iPad, it's all the same stuff. So if I go into my drive, right, I'll go into my drive and what I find there are my files. So if I go to browse, there's my desktop, and there's my documents. But even here, they prioritize recents. If I go to recents, here are the last things I have opened. And who cares where they are, according to them. Most people, I guess they love showing things. They love showing things by recents. I think a lot of people don't know about organizing their stuff. So recents is their default option here. And so this is the screenshot I made in October 17, 2 days ago. And this is the stuff that I have in my computer. This is identical. This is exactly what I have in my own computer. So if I go now to my Finder, which is my computer, and I go over here into my desktop, you'll see, or into my recents, I'm sorry. There it is. This here is my computer's Finder. This is on the internet, which I happen to be accessing exactly at the same time in the same place. But the whole point is that I could be accessing this from Zimbabwe. I don't care. I could go to iCloud.com, put in my Apple ID on an internet cafe kind of place or in a hotel, put in my Apple ID and my password, and there's my screenshot, right? And which is sitting in my computer, which is also sitting in my phone, which is also sitting in my iPad, as long as I go to the drive to find them. So I'm going to show you also now how to find us on your phone or your iPad, because I've always been telling you, you find them here, you find them anywhere. And with an app, it's easy to tell that it's the same thing. But with a file, you're like, oh, yes, Chris, she wrote, did we miss a break? I guess we did. Was my break? Oh, I must have turned the alarm off for the break. Because it was okay. Yeah.
And I'm not seeing documents in my iCloud.
Yeah, so when you go to the cloud to find your documents, you need to go there to browse. And that's where you see desktop documents. Now, the only thing that's kind
my
of,
screen looks totally different than yours, Deanna.
could it be that you are looking at things in a different mode, like a grid, like that? Or a list? I just wonder. If not, why don't you share your screen?
Yeah, I think I'll share my screen if it's okay with you.
I'll give you guys a minute. Right now, I want to have a yes if you got to your iCloud. That's what I want. Okay, so here's, oh, this is the same that I had shared. This is the same, and I had just gone into my drive.
Just go up here to drive?
Yeah, these are different apps, and here you are, you're in your drive. And these are where the files are.
Wouldn't it show the same folders and stuff like that, or it only shows me recent?
Look, no, that's what I'm saying. It defaults to recents, but if you go to browse, then it's showing you right there you have your desktop and your documents. Looks like you have a bunch of loose stuff. So go into your documents and that will
that's how I get into my documents, because I've got I should have a lot more documents than this. I'm so
remember that you have this is from 2022. Remember that you have the issue of having two different Apple IDs.
I understand. Yeah, this still should have a lot more. It's not mirroring my
Don't wait. Remember that 119 items is only counting each item. If you have a ton of stuff inside of each folder, then you might have thousands of things in here. You might have thousands of stuff inside of a folder, but it only counts under 118 items. Does that make sense? Remember that?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Just seeing 118 is just that you have maybe 50 folders and another 62 loose things without folders. And that's why it says 118. For someone who's got their documents organized, like Jackie, she would only see 10 items, which are her 10 folders. And then if she opens each folder inside of there, she'd see all the things. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. I didn't understand how to get to where I needed to be.
Guys, if you got to the cloud, I'm going to share again my cloud and then I'll let you guys explore. If you got to the cloud, how I got here, I'm going to back out, is when you first get to the cloud, you get in here. And in here you have, if you share your photos to the cloud and you click on photos, there they are. These are your photos. Okay. And you'll see all your photos in here that are in your phone, that are in your iPad. It takes a second to, these are the photos that I have in my phone, that I have in my iPad. So if this is so, now you understand how, if you were to lose your phone, don't panic, it's still in the cloud. Here are your photos, right? I'm going to back out and now it's going to show me that here's my mail. If I click in mail, I'll read my mail. If I go to my drive, it'll default to recents. I use my notes a lot. And so if I click on my notes on my phone, I use a lot. If I click on my phone and my notes, here it is. These are my notes that I have in my phone, which as you can see, I'm using to register links and codes and stuff like that. I have something about how to make a screenshot, stuff like that. So this is my notes and there they are. So this that I'm showing you is the internet, guys. This is something that I could be right now in Paris on a trip or in Argentina at my mother's house without my computer. Someone stole my phone, someone stole my iPad, someone stole my computer, whatever. I brought it, I drop it in the water. I have all my stuff that I need in the cloud. It's here it is. And so it's showing me these by default, photos, mail, drive, notes. But I could choose to have something else here if I want. I could have my reminders or my other, other stuff that's important to me. I can have my calendar. If I click on my calendar, there it is. This is my calendar. And in my calendar, it's telling, whatever it's, obviously I'm not using this calendar too much, but it's showing me, and I go to my week and here it's telling me that today is Thursday 19th and yada, yada. I'm not using this school calendar, this calendar so much, but there you go. That's what it's showing me. Okay. Now I'm gonna hold on. Let me look at the answers that you all gave. I want to see who did or didn't get to it. Okay, I'm seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people said yes. 2 questions I'll answer in a minute. I have Barbara Walsh, Sarah, and Lynn out there. Okay, good. So now everyone's answered, and then there's 3 hands. All right. So if you didn't get here yet, you all got in because other than the 3 hands, the rest of you said yes. So okay.
Okay.
Barbara, yeah, what's your question? Oh, Rod, you took the yes off, like you didn't get in?
No, I had to widen my image and then I've got what you have.
Okay, got it. I'm gonna stop the share so that people can look at their own screens well and see what's in your class. All right, Barbara. The one who raised her hand, which is Barbara Walsh. Yes, Barbara?
I'm sorry, I got it. I haven't to get into my phone to change it.
Yeah, I'll go show you guys now. As soon as we're done with these questions, I'll show you on your phone how to get to these files and on your iPads how to get to these files. I'll show you that in a second. But right now I'm answering about this cloud. Yes, Sarah?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting, when I go into the cloud, which no problem there, but then it shows up basically quick access and customized because I've never gone in before. And I'm wondering whether or not it's because what I did is that I also have the 2 email addresses, Pipeline and my other one, sarahlucas2@gmail.com. And maybe that's why I don't see how.
Show me your screen. I don't know what you mean by quick access and customize. I don't.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I will hold on for a second.
Yes, if you have 2 Apple IDs, they're 2 separate places. It's like you have a house in Miami and a house in Santa Barbara. You can't expect to see both at the same time.
I think the problem is that right now it's because maybe I was using the other Zoom, like my own Zoom rather than the.
No, Zoom has nothing to do with this at all. You are on your own computer opening iCloud.com, getting into your Apple ID. So this is completely unrelated to Zoom. If you're asking about your mail, the one thing that's limited there, and we're going to talk about that in Mac level 2, we're going to be talking about apps. One of them is mail. The only mail you're reading there is the one that's considered your Apple email. Some of you have more emails than that. In iCloud, the only email that gets saved is the email that's considered your Apple ID email. We'll talk about that next class. So for now, ignore.
Okay, so that would be my main email address, not the Pipeline.
I mean, yeah, and I'll explain much more about that. Really, hold on to the conversation about mail, because Apple, as far as Apple ID, you've connected one email to it, and that's the one you're seeing here.
If you have more email addresses and emails, we're gonna talk next class about how to handle seeing different emails. But in the iCloud, you only see the one that's related to the Apple ID. Yes, Barbara Hudson this time.
Well, if you go to your calendars, mine has nothing. And I always have, I mean, I get a lot of things going on.
Yeah, so maybe you don't have your calendars connected in this account. Maybe in your phone, where do you have the calendar? In your computer or in your phone? But when you say I always have my calendar full, where do you mean? On
Well,
your phone?
On my phone and on my iPad, if I go to my
Okay.
iPad.
So
it's
maybe
loaded.
on those in the settings, you might not have it turned on to share them to the cloud. I don't know. Let's see. I'm gonna go to your phone now and see. So her comment was that she's not seeing in her calendar the stuff that's in her phone. So remember, at the very beginning of all these classes, I always tell that the settings have to be identical. What I mean by that is that maybe if something is not sharing itself to the cloud doesn't have it. So in your phone, you need to allow your calendar to share to the cloud, and in your computer, you need your calendar to share to the cloud, and your iPad, you need your calendar to share to the cloud. That way they're all connected, okay? I'm gonna go in, go open your settings on your phone, and then we'll go check your settings on your phone. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys now what this is on the phone. And again, I'm aware that I didn't give a break, so actually maybe I should give a break first because it's not 11. So let's do this. Enjoy, find out whatever it is that you need to find out about the cloud, and I'll if we're having a break, and I'll go with the phone later because I do need my break. I need to go in this, so hang on. Stay connected to the cloud. Let's see, what time is it? 10:50.
Password.
So, that's 11:06, is that right? Be back by 11:06, actually it's 10:50, 11:07 AM. Did I get that right? Is that 15 minutes, you guys? All right, cool. See you guys in.
Yes, yes.
The cloud open, leave everything open, we'll continue from here.
NET.
Glad you're feeling better, Diana.
Nine PK.
Thank you.
9 PK. No. 9 P8. 9 P8. KK.
Hi,
Yes, but
so
we stay with them.
let me put the sound things on again.
Now, I looked at my phone and I think under iCloud, it says on, but it's.
Oh, Denise. Yeah, that's true. Denise is mentioning, once you sign into a class, you can't, in a non-credit course, you can't drop yourself. Only the teacher can drop you once the class starts, or you have to come to the Wake Center to drop it. You can probably call. I don't know that you can't do it in person. You should be able to call.
You could also go to the SHOT.
What's that?
You can go to the SHOT Center as well.
Shot or Wake campus, but I would have thought you could also call them, but I don't know, maybe not. So yeah, that's true. A lot of people call me and say, hey, my schedule has changed. Can you drop me? And I'm like, I can't drop you until the class starts. So in this case, you wouldn't be able to get dropped until that class starts, which means you wouldn't be able to attend this one. So Denise, yeah, if you can make it to the,
Will you let me into the Zoom meeting on Tuesday? Because I'm out of town right now and I can't go in person to handle this.
I hear you. Well, go ahead and email me so that I can remember, because I email the roster, and if you're not on the roster, you won't get the email. So
Okay.
email me and I'll do my 100% best to remember to add you to the roster. To
Okay.
email that first day and join us, and then you can handle the registration when you come back. Okay.
Would you rather I email you today, or would you rather I email you? What's better for your timing?
Yeah, I won't really download the roster until Monday, so probably Monday, remind me to put you on.
Monday? Okay,
Because
I'll
people
do
keep
that.
signing in, and if I download it now, by Monday, there's 2 or 3 more people who signed in, so
Right,
then I'll replace
Okay.
it, and your name will drop out, so yeah, go ahead. And
Monday. Okay, to your pipeline email.
Mhm.
Okay, thank
And
you,
if
Diana.
you want to just email me today as well, because I might get around doing it over the weekend and then updating it, but for sure, email me on Monday and say, remember that I'm not on the roster, and
Okay,
to just do that, and that'll help me.
all right, I'll do that. Thank you again.
Welcome. Okay, let's see. Yeah, it's credit students can drop themselves, but non-credit students can't. And you're right, Catherine, when I said sign up and you can drop yourself, I forgot. I can't drop you until November. So you can stay in until November and I drop you, or you can come in, and I'm sorry about that. I didn't.
Oh, I can do, go to the SHOT Center to a class, so I could probably drop in person before then, maybe.
Sorry
Thank
about
you.
that. But why
No,
can't
no worries.
calling? I don't remember why calling is not a possible way to drop. Why do you do in person? Anyway, never mind. Because there's some people that attend our classes who are not local. They are in Lompoc or in Ventura, but they could be from anywhere in California. And so some people from Sacramento could be taking the class and they can't go in person. So that's weird. I need to bring that up. Anyway. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my phone. Remember that I said, stay connected to your cloud. I said I was going to sit, but this chair is way too high for me to climb onto it. It would be too painful. So I'm going to stay standing. I'm going to share my phone, and in my phone, I'm going to show you guys how to access your iCloud files if your stuff is in the cloud, because not everyone's stuff is in the cloud. So remember, if your stuff is not in the cloud, don't tell me I can't tell me I can't find it, and I'll remind you you can't find it because your stuff is not in the cloud. And yes, that's true, Barbara. I said that I would help you on your phone when I came back. So let me
Well, according to my
If
phone-
you're talking to me, Diane, I got in.
no, this Barbara. So give me a second. The Barbara has
According
it.
to my phone, apps in the iCloud, and my calendar is on.
Okay.
And
if we go to the calendar here. Today. And you go over here. So.
the same thing with.
Well, mail could be a little different thing, but,
It's not that second.
um. So, yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, so let me help you them there, because as long as you're sure that you signed into the same Apple ID, are your files there in the drive? Anyway,
Your documents are here.
the same ones that are yours, the same ones that you have in your phone. Okay, let me take you all to the phone. Open up your phone, you guys. I'm gonna share my screen. I just want to make sure, Barbara, that you check and see that the same exact thing that's on your computer is what's in the cloud. And so now I've got my phone here, and those of you who also check files with your iPad, it'll be exactly the same thing that I'm doing right now. So, and let me explain what I'm doing. I am showing people first that what I've been showing you for, a couple of weeks now is that your files can either be in your computer and if you have checked that your documents and desktop be on the cloud, then you can also see them on the cloud. And I have just taken you to the cloud. And if your stuff said that it's on the cloud on your computer, you should have seen the same things right now on the cloud in iCloud.com. Let me actually clean out your answers. So that was the intention. And I haven't heard from anyone different. In fact, Catherine didn't know where to find it, but I think you got to the place where you see that it's the same one. So the only one saying right now, she can't right now is Barbara, but I can't confirm yet that it's the right Apple ID. So I'm going to do that in a second. Now I want to show you the next thing, which is, yep, I've been telling you that as long as your settings are correct, you should also be able to see these on your phone. And yeah, why would you want an Excel file on your phone? Well, actually, guess what? You could open it on your phone because Excel does have a phone version. So now, where you would find these on your phone is in an app called Files. So I'm going to pull down for searching, or I'm going to go to the search right there. I'm going to write the word files, and there it is. It's a folder called Files. So on your phone or on your iPad, search for, it's an app, and it's called Files. And when you click on that, it'll open up, and it looks just like it did. In fact, you're going to be here. It looks just like the iCloud looked, and you're going to be in the iCloud Drive on my phone, downloads, whatever. So I'm going to click on iCloud Drive because I'm in the browse mode. And then my iCloud, there's my desktop and my documents. So I'm going to go to my desktop, and these are exactly the same things that I have at home in my desktop. I'm going to back out, and I'm going to go to my documents, and this is exactly the same thing that I have. And
I'm sorry, I missed something about where I find the files file.
so let me go back. It's an app, and if you have an app somewhere that you don't know where it is, say that you're trying to open your settings, you know where it is, whatever it is, you have to search for it. So I'm going to go search, because some of you might have it here, a folder called Files. If I go back and forth, I might see it. There it is.
But if you don't know where it is, then just hit the search. And to search stuff, if you don't see the word search down there, if perchance you don't see the word search, then just put your mouse in the middle of these, not on one of them, but in the neutral area, and just gently pull down, and the search pops up. And then just write the word files, and all it took was FI, and there it appeared. I didn't even have to write files, FI, and there it is. So click on it. This is the app that has your files. This is the iCloud. And you are probably in here. You might be in recents. You might be in recents. I don't know. And if so, here's my recents. If not, go down to browse. I'm not sure where you land in the first instance. Go to browse, and here, if you want to see desktop and documents, will be under your iCloud drive, because that's the thing that's holding your stuff. And there's your desktop and documents. You should see in here the same things that are on your desktop and your computer, and that are in your documents in your computer. If you see it, and if this is so, and if you found it, and yeah, you can compare and show that it's exactly the same thing, then please give me a yes. If you can't find it, and you're trying to find it and you can't, don't assume you just don't know and I'll do it later, which a lot of people go, no, I'll do it later. No, ask me, I will help you. I want to make sure that you can see if the stuff is the same. And I'm seeing Carol and Rod saying that, yep, it's the same stuff. And now, Barbara, your hand is the same question, right? I'll go and deal with you in a minute.
Well,
Or is it a different question?
I have a question back ways. When you deleted, when you were on the iCloud, and you said that if you delete in that recent, it would delete it everywhere, correct?
Yeah, it's basically.
So if you take it and you drag it or you delete it, does it go in your trash and can you retrieve it? Or is it just gone because you made a mistake? Boom.
It goes into your trash because it's the same as if had you trashed it from your document folder, because remember,
Okay,
it's the
so
same
you
thing.
could undo it if you made a mistake.
Yeah. Let me confirm. Let me confirm. I'm gonna test it just because I want to make sure that I don't know if the phone has an undo feature for the trash. But if it's in your, let me confirm. I'm gonna do this to find out if that's true. I'm gonna delete this one from the recents.
Wait a minute, where are you?
Hold on, no,
Here.
I'm not sharing it. I'm just doing it, and there it is in my trash. And I can just put it back. So in my computer, it works.
All right.
Nope. No, it doesn't. That's bizarre.
No.
So from the recents, if I deleted it from the recents, but when I went to my trash, it doesn't want to appear again. So yep, no, I'm gonna try again. I'm gonna make a new file. Sorry, I'm just testing a question here, okay? So you guys just be patient for a second with me. I have just created a new screenshot that I just made. I'm right click and moving it to trash. I'm gonna go to the trash. And I'm gonna put it back. Nope, from the recents, it doesn't want to be put back. That's interesting.
So once you put something in the trash from recents, it's gone.
I guess so. That's pretty interesting. This is interesting. Move to trash. I'm just checking this again. Huh, but it's not letting me in the regular trash either. I'm thinking something else is happening because I just regularly deleted something and it wasn't there. So I need to look into that a bit more. I'm not gonna take more time trying to look into something that I don't obviously know the answer to. So let me look into that and get back to you, because yeah, that should have, I don't see a way to get back from your trash in the, although there's a recently deleted. So if I go there to recently deleted, there it is. This is the one that I recently deleted. So it is here. And so I'm gonna click, this is the one that I just deleted. It can't be open because it's been recently deleted. To use this item, tap and hold on the item and choose recover. Oh, okay, good. So I'm gonna tap and hold and choose recover. Yep, and it went back. Okay, that's good news. So it went back to my desktop. So it did work on my phone. So yeah, so I guess there is a way to trash it from your phone and still get it back. That's good to know.
It's the same on your computer.
Yeah, so this one here. I'm gonna just say done, what is it? It's one I took October 17th. Okay. So I'm just testing again, you guys. So I'm gonna delete this one. I'm gonna click and hold. And I'm gonna, can I trash, delete? Trash, there it is. I've never tried to organize my files on my phone, and so I'm not 100%. Okay, so say I don't want this one, I'll delete it. Boom. I just deleted it, okay? So now I'm gonna browse, and there's my recently deleted, which is the equivalent to the trash, and there it is, this is one that I just deleted. So now if I want to recover it, I can click on that and say recover, and yeah, it's gone back. It's gone back to my desktop. There it is. So yeah, there it is. Oh shoot, again? Why would the
Yeah, they just send it.
alert?
Probably the real thing now.
No, it still says. Sorry, here at school, we're getting the City College alert again. The earthquake alert. I'm gonna cancel it, but why would it be happening again at this time? Anyway, maybe they made a mistake. Okay. All right, so anyway, let me back up. So what I'm trying to say is that this is the way you can access files. So now this is just, I was just going through deleting that, but how do you open them? Well, if I want to go to my documents and open a file from here, I'm gonna go to my class files, and here's a file that's in the Mountain Crate application that you guys have to fill out when you want to sign in by hand, and there it is. I can see it, right? So I could fill it in here. So basically, this is me using my files that are in my computer that are also in my phone, because they, they're in my phone, they're in my computer. That's the one thing. But remember, if I delete it from here, it'll delete from my home as well, from my computer as well. Any questions about this? Does this make sense? You guys want to ask questions? Nope.
I do. I mean, I have my hand up.
Oh, sorry. Yep.
It seems that for some reason, I mean, I had originally set up my phone to totally sync with my computer, right?
Yeah.
And now when I go into iCloud Drive on my phone, it's different than it is on the computer, and I thought everything was synced.
So it's different in what sense? You don't have the same things? Ow.
No, not completely. And that's the thing. I'm so hopelessly, because also the problem is I've also been doing Google and Google Chrome, and then it's a mess.
Google Chrome isn't it? If you have things in Google Drive, that's different. But
yeah, I do have stuff in Google Drive.
Go ahead and share your screen, because I want to clarify this. Share your screen. I want to look and see what's in your documents, and then we'll see.
All right. Let me just okay. Hold on, it takes me a while. I'm sorry.
Okay. Share your entire desktop so that we can look at three different things. Don't just share one window. Share the top left choice, which is desktop, and then we can switch.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So Let me move you over to make
I'll
you
take this off.
bigger.
Let me turn this off.
I have to move you over here so that I can make it bigger. Give me a second. So that I can see it better, because otherwise it's too small for me to see the details. This other screen shows things bigger. Okay, so go to your desktop on the left side, on the sidebar, go to your desktop. Click on desktop. Okay, so you have something called Bakshi Bliss on your desktop. That's the only thing that you have on your desktop right now. Okay. If I look down at the path bar, it says that your desktop is in the iCloud Drive. All right, so now let's go, keep this there, go to the Safari and go to your iCloud.com. Or Google, or wherever you did it. If you did it in Google, wherever you did it, I told you to stay open. You
Yeah, I
didn't
did.
stay connected?
I thought I did, and this is.
But maybe you did it on Google because you have Chrome open too. Maybe go to Chrome. Maybe you did it on Chrome. I don't care.
Well, no, this is right here. This is what right here is iCloud that I have.
No, this is not iCloud. This is your beginning page. Go to the iCloud, but you also have, I saw on your dock, Chrome. Maybe you went there in your Chrome. If you said you went there, you might have it open. So go to your dock again and open Chrome. Maybe it's there that you have your iCloud open. Let's see. Nope, it's not there either. So maybe you left it or something. Yeah, click. You might have just left it. Okay, just go on one of them. I don't care which. Choose one and go to iCloud.com.
Okay.
In Safari, it might remember your passwords.
Well, they should be all linked because I did that.
Okay, iCloud.com. So you, okay, sign in. You have to go to the internet. It doesn't matter what.
Yeah, I'm on the internet too.
No, I'm telling the class. Doesn't matter if you use Chrome, Firefox, Safari, if you're in your, Bing, whatever computer you get to, you just need to sign in. So there you go. Go ahead and you can use that stuff there that seems to have remembered it without having to, you know how you can click on that underneath and that'll work, right? Never mind, you can write it. Okay. If you want to stay signed in, you can do that. Okay, either continue with password or with your passkey. Okay, continue, put in your password. There it is. Just click on the arrow because your password is there. Yep, looks like you didn't have the correct password in Chrome.
Yeah, I think they because I.
So you need to update that password in Chrome.
Well, I did. That's the problem. It's not recognizing it.
Now, when it says, do you want to update this password? Say, yeah. No. Go to the update password, say, yeah. That way it updates it. Click on update password.
Yeah.
And then now go to your phone because this is the two-factor authentication. Google isn't recognizing this Apple ID hasn't been signed in here yet, or she changed her password. So this is the security part, right? It won't let anyone in. And it's like, oh, you might be, Mary Smith trying to get into Sarah Lucas's thing. So I'm going to send a message to your phone that you registered with them as your phone. And in your phone, there's a code that just arrived in your messages and it's got 6 numbers and it wants you to type them in. This is what's called two-factor authentication. It's to make sure that it's that you are you, because you wouldn't have stolen everything and have access to everything technically.
Yeah, but what happens is I go back to my email, right, on my phone, and I can't access for some reason my I have my email on my computer just fine. Now, if they send me a message.
It depends. You would have told them whether to send you a text message or an email.
Oh,
don't say don't allow. Oh, don't say don't allow. Wait. Don't change. If you say don't allow, this is telling this computer do not access Apple ID because you are basically saying, no, this is wrong. Don't let this person in. So be careful with saying don't allow. Go ahead. This is if you think someone is trying to sign in with your Apple ID, you should change your password, right? So go ahead and say don't change and trust it. At this point, guys, I'm sorry that I ran into this. I'm trying to make things easy and it's getting complicated. It's not that it's getting complicated, it's that She's signing in from you had signed in earlier, probably you used Safari, who knows, but you're opening a new browser and the browser is like, I don't know you. I need to make sure that you are Sarah Lucas. So it's asking you to send a verification code. Now, it says here a message with a verification code has been sent. I would assume that it says a message means a text. So go to your text. Now, by now, it's been so long, it might not work. Usually it lets it on for a few minutes, but let's try it again. So did you go to your texts? And it would say an email was sent if it's got to your email, but a message means a text. Did you go to your messages on your phone?
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to even get that. That just, hold on.
Yeah, just if your phone has the text app, if you look at the text app, you should say the text comes in as saying something like
No, it doesn't come in as a text. I don't think so because I'm not getting it in text.
okay.
I think I want to do is like send a verification code.
Yeah, go ahead and try that. And guys, if this, Satan Center, go ahead and click on that again. One time. Yeah, and then it text me. Wait. Text me or more options. So if you want to text now, go ahead and click text so you know it's a text. Go ahead and say text. It was sent to something that ends with 36. That's your number, then go to your text and you should have received it.
Yeah, that's because it went to I have 2 phone lines in my phone.
There you go. So you guys, again, you got to be careful. If it's going to whatever phone number you gave it or to whatever email you gave it, and if what you gave it was an email that you're not using anymore, then you need to go into your Apple account and fix that, because this is the way they verify it's you. So if you've had a different number, and go ahead and type in the number you just got.
Well, I don't know how to access my other phone right now. I mean, that's the problem. Hold on. You go ahead. I don't want to hold up everybody.
Okay, I got it. But you guys see this is a really good example though, to show you why, if you want to believe it or not, why your account is secure. Because see how much trouble she is in getting into her own, just because her account, at some point when she set up her Apple ID, it asks you, what's your phone number? She gave a phone number. What's your email? She gave an email. So then to verify it's you, they are sending her an email to that phone number. Well, it so happens that it's not the phone number she's using, so you can't prove that you are you, which is why if this was me trying to hack into hers, I wouldn't have access to her phone number. Do you see what I mean? This is actually good, although it's a hassle right now. It's actually good because it basically is she can't get in until she verifies that she is herself. Does that make sense? Now, if you want to say didn't get verification code and ask them to send it instead to an email, if you have access to your email, you can try that. As long as you gave Apple ID your email. Now, if all of this is happening, you can't get in, you really need to update your safety security features in your Apple ID to give it the right phone number and so on and so forth. I'm going to stop right now, but for better or for worse, that was an example of the security system working. Does that make sense? Although it sounds like it's not working because it's not letting her in, it's actually working because if she can't prove she's herself, it's not letting her in. And that's good, okay? For when it's a hacker or a thief, this is good that it's happening. Since it is herself, then it's not comfortable, but she needs to be able to figure out how she can access the phone number she gave them. Once she does that and you go in, make sure to change in your privacy settings in your Apple ID and give them the phone number that you actually use, okay?
So how do all right, I mean, I went on a search, okay, and I put in my 505 number with the ending with 36. And what happens is all it does is call me.
I don't, you seem to, is that a number that you can receive texts to?
Yeah. It's just switching it, from line to line. I guess that's, maybe I have to go into
the text to that line. Yeah. I mean,
I have to go into settings and switch the phone.
Yeah. At this point, I'm going to continue with questions while you handle switching the lines and finding text for your second line. Okay. Catherine?
I think I didn't get the alert, and so I think it's because it recognizes my device. I know when So I think that's why I didn't have, I just was afraid I didn't have the 2-level authentication turned
Well,
on.
if you've already signed in once and told it that this is you, and then it says, do you want to trust? And you say trust, which I worried because Sarah said, don't trust. And I'm like, oh, wait, don't say don't trust. Because then that gets it said, don't allow, she said. And then your computer remembers that this computer is not allowed to access your Apple ID. So be careful with those things that come up. Read them before you click on them, because then you have to go through a rigmarole to say, no, it was wrong. I really did want you to allow it, but that's something you need to change the system preference. So when it comes up with trust, and this is you, and you say, yes, trust, now every time you access the iCloud.com from that same browser, that browser knows that you've already said this is good, and it lets you in just with your password instead of this whole 2-factor authentication that she's going to go through. Now, maybe you reached iCloud.com through Safari before, Sarah, and if so, then it's already been memorized. But now that you've kind of done this through Google and told it don't allow, it might go, ooh, something weird's happening with Sarah's account. Someone seems to be trying to get in, so I'm just going to kind of not let her in until she proves she's herself, no matter what browser you go from, right? Because it's trying to, all your data is in the cloud. Your data is on the cloud, and they're trying to keep it safe. Okay.
Yeah, but why is it that when I go down to settings to phone, okay, and I'm going in, allow the phone to access Siri, search, notification, incoming calls.
So it's not in the phone. If you have 2 lines, your messages, go to your messages app and make sure that it's set up to allow text messages from both lines. You maybe only have text from one. I don't know. I need to move on because I can't.
Yeah, I
figure out
understand.
the settings. Once you're there and you go into the iCloud, what I was going to show is that in your desktop, you should only have that one file that you have on your computer on your desktop. Should also be in the cloud. And on your phone, though, if you go to files and you go to desktop, you should only see that one file too. And that's what I wanted to see if people had tested. If people had tested that system and it was a yes, if it's true that what you had in your phone, that you're able to find what's in the cloud also on your phone. And if you were able to find on your cloud the same thing that's in your computer. And I'm getting 2 or 3 yeses. I think Rod, you had said yes before. How about Jackie or Mary or Barbara? Like work? Because otherwise the only person that would, so Jackie, what's happening with you?
I think it's because I haven't, because I don't have these things in the cloud. Could that be?
Oh yeah, if your files are in your computer and they're not in the cloud, then yeah, your stuff is in your computer only. You can't find it in the cloud. You can't go to Sri Lanka and look at your files because they've been left at home in your computer at home. It's only for people who have allowed the files to be in the cloud, who can go anywhere in the world and find them.
I have some files. Some files are there, but it doesn't look.
Yeah, when you don't have it allowed and some files are there, it's the ones that you dragged into the iCloud Drive yourself. So it's true. It's some files. It's kind of like a second drive, kind of like using Google Drive, but it's not the same thing as having your desktop and documents there. It's just like you added some things by hand. So it's working the way it should for someone who doesn't have their files on the cloud. Your phone thus won't have them either, because if the cloud can't have them, they can't be transferred to the phone. Okay. So right now your files are only in your computer. If so, you need to make sure to be saving those files on a time machine. And we will be talking next class about the time machine. For people, it's good for everyone, by the way, not just for people who have things not in the cloud, but it's crucial for people who don't have things in the cloud, because it's the only other way to save your stuff. If your computer dies, the only way to save your stuff is by having it on a time machine, because the cloud doesn't have them. Okay. It's neither right nor wrong to do it one way or the other. It's just a fact that I want you guys to be sure that if you don't have your stuff in the cloud, you have to have a time machine. Now, just as a quick I will tell you this next week, the first day, but I want to let you know right now that what you're going to have to get next week, if you don't have one yet, I'm sorry, got a little stab there. Believe it or not, what hurts most right now is not the site of the surgery, it's my back, because in order to avoid pain, I kind of am curved, like in this position, kind of curved on myself. So when I try to straighten out, my back hurts. So it's weird because I have not had back surgery, but it's like, okay, so here's,
Go home and lay down.
I will right up.
I'm sorry you hurt.
I'm going straight home. So this is a portable hard drive. Okay, it's a portable hard drive. And this, it looks huge because I'm approaching it there, but you see my hand, it's small. It's like, for those of you who remember the times of packs of cigarettes, is a bit bigger than a pack of cigarettes on the side, and it's even thinner on the edge. Okay, this is a portable hard drive. This is what we're going to connect to your computer to create that time machine. So if you don't have a time machine, meaning a portable hard drive plugged into your computer, doing an automatic backup, that means you need to buy one, especially if your stuff is not on the cloud. Okay. And we're gonna try to get it to be at least double the size of your hard drive. I would say that if you get a 2 gigabyte one at this point, everyone should be pretty safe because no one here has more than a 1 gigabyte drive. So get a 2 gigabyte drive. They're only like $10 more than a 1 gigabyte, and you can't even find smaller ones than that. I'm going to spend more time next Tuesday being very specific about this. So if you don't know what to buy or where to buy, that's the beginning of next week. Okay. So, so that's all. But if you have one around, or if you need to buy one and you know what I'm talking about, please get one. And that's going to be what's going to save you your files in case of your computer dying. And it has an advantage also for people who do not have their stuff in the cloud, but it's really important also people who do have the stuff in the cloud, because it saves other stuff, not just what goes in the cloud. It saves all your applications and everything. The time machine is crucial for it, is very important for everyone, and it's crucial if your stuff is not on the cloud. All right. Question on the chat. Can I get back up my cloud Dropbox storage on my external drive?
Yeah, because I'm concerned. I've archived over 3,000 of my writings and it's in the cloud, but if the cloud goes down, is there a way I can pull documents down from the cloud and then back them up onto my external drive? So in the event the world comes to an end.
Are they on your computer as well? I'm sorry.
They're not on my computer. Sorry. Maybe somebody could sit in your chair and lower it for you. That's there.
If I lower it, then I'm down here.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's okay. It's the coughing.
So that's what I'm wondering.
Here's the thing. You have some things on the cloud and some things not. So my answer to you is always more complicated because yes, you can back up. Okay, the time machine only backs up what's on your computer.
Got that.
There you go. So that's all it does. Now, if you have an external, like a Dropbox storage, which is supposed to be a backup, and you have stuff that's nowhere else, you could back it up with another online storage. So I'm going to talk much more about backups and storage.
Okay, great.
So we'll move into that.
Thank you so much. I just didn't know if I could download it onto an actual hard drive to put in my safe. Thanks.
You can, but you have to download the stuff. So that's why it's
thank you.
Complicated. Barbara?
Oh gosh, what did I want? I had two questions. Okay, I have a bunch of photos in the cloud that aren't in my computer at the moment. How do I drag copies of them back onto my computer to put on Time Machine?
Why? Let me be clear, because when you say I have photos on the cloud that are not on my computer, I need to suddenly question certain things. The first one is, do you have are these photos that you took with your phone, or are they things that arrived for you by text, or what's up?
Probably I took them with my phone. I have like over 3,000 photos that I took with my phone and over 1,000 videos.
Okay. So are you signed up to put in your photos on the cloud from your phone? Are they going automatically to the cloud?
I Probably, I don't remember sending them up there.
Well, this is the part that I keep saying. All I can ask you all to do first is to do this. Go to your iCloud, open your photos in your iCloud, right? And then, go to your phone and open your photos in your phone and look and see if it's the same stuff. It's basically
Okay, I can do that.
step A, right?
Yes.
Right now, if I go to my phone and look at my phone, I have the exact same things that I'm looking at this, and these exact same photos are on my phone and on my computer. Here, I can show you, I can switch to share my phone. Let's focus on one. Let's focus on, I don't know, here I have, here, you see these photos of my son the first time we went to visit Berkeley. You see these photos.
Okay, yes.
I'm gonna share my screen, share my phone, I mean, and I'm gonna go over here to sharing my phone, which here it is. And I've opened my app and there they are, same photos. You see that?
Yes.
You need to have the same things on your phone than on your computer. Then that means that you are using the cloud to store your photos. Then, then you need to go to your, now I'm going to share my desktop. Then you go to your, hold on, let me share my desktop now.
Oh, they are the same.
Let me look at my Photos app. I'm going to open my Photos app on my desktop and I'm going to scroll down on Library. And there they are. This is my desktop now. There are the same photos. Got it? So
Yes.
my same photos are on all three. If you say you have photos in one device that you don't have in another, the only option for that is that you're not using the whole cloud system to hold your stuff, because otherwise it's the same everywhere. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I've just checked my Photos app on my phone. I've just checked my Photos app on the cloud, and I've just checked my Photos app on my computer. They have the same photos. Got it? That's the ideal. If any one of them does not have the same stuff, then somewhere in your settings, you've disconnected the process. Okay?
Okay, if I wanted to, what I want to do is I want to do a collection of these beach photos. I have probably 700 sunsets, and I wanted to bring them in to my computer because I wanted to see if they're good enough on the computer to print them.
Right, so I'm gonna just really quickly say, without teaching you how to use the Photos app on your computer now, but I'm sharing my Photos app on my computer, just so you know right now. And I just want to let you know that the whole point of the iCloud, the class where I teach iLife, is to teach you how to create things like search for all my sunset photos and put them in a folder and then be able to check them. And so, and I can even do it as simply as writing down the word sunset up there, and look, any sunset photo I have on my Photos app has just appeared. So, you know, these are all sunset photos.
Now, is that on your computer?
This is on my computer.
Okay.
So the whole point is that if you take the Photos Organization Cloud class, I can show you how to create all that stuff so that you can easily search through all your photos.
Yeah, there's a list of programs that I'm gonna need to get for your class. I can't remember what they are. I'll have to get them, download them. I can't remember what programs they are. I've got Lightroom and Bridge and Photoshop, but there's some other ones that
no, Lightroom, Bridge, Photoshop is all you need for the Photoshop classes, and for the Mac, you need the Photos app. That's part of the Mac. I don't think there's any.
I don't remember. It's one of your classes and I want to take it, but one
of my classes is, I have another class called, which is happening in December, Create Compelling Content, and I give you guys some more apps for that. But for now, I'm just going to keep focusing on Mac. So anyway, for other questions, ask me in the Photoshop class, which means tomorrow I'll meet with you. Okay.
Yeah, I'm-
So,
yeah, I'm-
let's say that what I just showed you was me showing my photos and looking them up in all three places. That's the same thing. I should be able to look at my desktop folder in all three places and they'd have the same thing. And at my documents folder in all three places, and they should have the same thing. If you have something that is vastly different, like Jackie, she says it's different, then I ask her, oh, yeah, she doesn't have that system turned on. She doesn't have her desktop and document from the cloud. So then, of course, you won't see them either on the phone. Because remember, things don't go from computer to phone. They go computer to cloud, phone to cloud. So cloud is the place where everything needs to be if you want it to go then to iPad or phone or computer, okay? And if this is unimportant to you because you'll never want to access these files on your phone, then at least you know this. But don't think that there might not be an emergency where something happened to your house where you left your computer, or you're traveling and no one can access your computer and suddenly you need to find a file that someone needs, a form that you signed or whatever. And it's like, well, guess what? I remember Deanna telling me they should be on my phone. Well, go to your files and search, because as long as you're using the cloud, that same form will be on your phone, okay? Even if you don't need it, it's there, and it will work and it will help you the day that you change your computer, and then you just reset everything up from your computer and so on and so forth from the cloud.
Can I ask you one more question?
Yeah.
I have photos on my computer, but when I'm looking at photos on the cloud and I go down to my dock and I click on photos, the photos on my computer don't open up. It says, welcome to photos, and it says turn on iCloud photos and settings or choose to import them. But when I'm not online and looking at the cloud, there are photos on my computer. Why is that?
So here's the thing, by the way, this is telling me that your Photos app on your phone and on your computer is not set up. And it's telling you basically, turn on your settings. It's basically telling you what I just told you to do. If you want to see these photos that are in the cloud on your computer, you need to go to your settings, as it says there, and click on the photos, and then all the photos that are in the cloud will come into the Photos app. That's one part of your answer. Everything
Okay.
on the cloud will appear on your computer. But the second part of your answer is, why do you have other photos that are not there? And this is simply because in your life as someone who does photography and who uses Adobe Photoshop and Lightroom and all these other stuff, you have photos in your documents folder or wherever you put them, where these are just files that are images, right? And so you put them there. You put photos in your computer as a file. You didn't put them in the Photos app. So now if you go to your computer and you go to your documents and you find some photos there that you've been working on in Photoshop or whatever, they are just files. They happen to be files like this one called Loose Pictures. This is just a file that I put in here, and I forgot to drag it into my Photos app. So it's loose, and that's where I'm using it from. When you take the Photoshop class and I give you photos to download, you download them into your downloads folder. Maybe you move them into your documents folder. Those photos are just in your computer. You never put them in the Photos app. So the Photos app is an app that needs to have access to your photos. And if you didn't do that, then they're not there. Does that make sense, you guys? The Photos app?
Yeah, because I used to have them on my computer, so I must have changed something. So I'll have to take care of that.
So in your system preferences of your computer system settings, if you want to share, I can show you. You need to just turn on the switch that allows the photos from your photos to go down into your computer. And then you'll have.
When I first go into system preferences, where do I want to click? Right now I'm looking at it. Appearance is open is why I'm.
Go to the iCloud. You go over here to your name. And then go to iCloud. And there's photos, and this should say on.
Loose Pictures. Files to print.
No, you're looking at me.
Yeah.
No, go to your
Oh, I just got out of iCloud.
Go to your system preferences, right there.
Okay, I've got that.
Then go to the cloud. And here, your photos should be on.
iCloud. Where is iCloud?
Go to your name, up at the top, name. Click on your name,
Okay,
and then there's the iCloud.
over here. Okay.
And
Okay,
then,
it's on.
okay, on and make sure that it says sync, click on that on, make sure that it says sync this Mac to have it all work.
Sync this Mac, yes. It says it's syncing.
Okay. Was it already set up that way? or-
Yeah, it says on. So let me get out of iCloud and go back to my photos.
And this is not the photos class, but there's a possibility that you have a second library set up. This is a whole photos thing that I need to teach you in photos class, but you might not have your photos library set up as a system library. So anyway, there's other things that could be
I
happening
don't know.
on today's class. Open your photos and see if your photos come in. It takes a while. And if it doesn't,
I turned it on. Well, I don't know what I did. They used to be in my computer.
well, hang in there. I really want to continue with.
That's
what-
it's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna be in your class tomorrow, so I'll ask you tomorrow.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Let me snooze my alarm. Okay, so guys, the
System photo library.
let me mute you for just a second. Later, you can show me your stuff and I can see if you have a system photos library turned on or whatever. Again, there's just enough to do with photos itself that it alone takes an entire, 20-hour class, 4-hour class. So I can't just like suddenly do everything right now for you. Not that I'm trying to do it. But anyway, hopefully that helped people do the same thing. Check on their photos in their app and in their computer to see if they have the same things everywhere. If so, it's all working. If your settings are off, if you don't choose that, like Jackie didn't choose that, then don't expect to find them. Don't say, oh, it's not working. Well, you won't find them if the settings are off. If the settings are on, you should find them. That's when we should go and see if there's a problem. Okay. I wanted to go back to the organizational part of your files and ask again, is there anyone, I'm clearing your answers first. Hold on, because I want to make sure that I got answers only for my next question. This whole class had to do with organizing and being able to find the things that are in your computer and in getting rid of stuff or junk that you don't need. And I had asked you guys to take things off your desktop. So that's basically the main gist of everything I've been trying to teach you. Is there anything that you still need to know or find out or do so that you can dare do this? We're not going to talk about organizing files anymore. I'm going to have a few more minutes now to show you then opening an app and saving to those documents and stuff like that. But I just want to first clarify that the main gist of the class is everything that we said. And this is the time to say, well, there's this stuff I didn't do. How can I do it? This is the time to just speak up and ask. Right, Catherine?
I'm curious because I want to also organize going forward. So my question is, you've shown us how to do that. Is there some categories or that you would say these would be good folders to, go through and have? Not that we're not supposed to do it in real time, but I have massive folders. So is there like the kind is really helpful? I'm just wondering, do you have a tactical strategy for how to go in and do what you've asked us to do? One, just a down and dirty. And then two, is there categories or something that like we're doing it and we don't know where it goes and we got to get this thing out? And is there some categories or folders that you find useful are good to have in general for that miscellaneous crap that doesn't necessarily fall into it, if you have any guidance there
Okay, so
globally?
my rough answer to that is going to be, I know what is basic and useful for me, but
Mhm.
remember, we're all different people. So in my case, I like to separate my work files from my personal files to start with. So that's two big categories. And then inside of work, I have my work, which is teaching, and I have my work, which is being a graphic designer. So I have a folder for my client work and a folder for my class files. Now inside of my class files in my real computer, you open it up and I have folders for each one of all my classes. I have folders for all my admin stuff that I need to do here, my scheduling, all that kind of stuff. So inside of my folder called class files, there's, tons of files, tons of folders that hold many files for each class. When I have client work, inside of client work, I have a folder that's for each client has its own name folder, and all the files for that folder for that client is in there. And then each one of those clients, when I open it up, if I've done different projects for them, I have a folder for each project. So it's kind of like that's the logic, right? That way, if, client, Bank of America, and they're not my client, calls me and says, hey, can you go back to that brochure you made for me 5 years ago? I can open up my client work, open up my folder called Bank of America, open up, and there I go. I have the folder of the brochure I did 5 years ago or something like that, because it's easy to find because it's logical to me. I also have a financial folder, and that one's confusing because part of my finances, of course, come from my work, but it's my personal taxes I'm doing. So if I'm doing, I'll have in my work file, I have a folder called invoices and, receipts and expenses and stuff like that. And then I have another one called financial, which is like personal stuff. And then when it comes time to do taxes, I can source myself from both. If I buy myself some boots, I can't, that's going to not be in the personal. So I just be, not that I put a receipt for boots, but I'm trying to be stuff that you might be able to expense, which in personal life, there's nothing you can expense. You can only expense through work, right? Anyway, that's the kind of thing I do. Health, I used to have stuff that was in health, like the kids, vaccine records, things like that. But a lot of that is online now. So I don't really have that much stuff in there. But if you ever, sometimes, I went to the doctor the day and they gave me some exercises to do because I had some pain in my ankle. They give me a piece of paper. Well, I'll just take a picture of it and put it in there so that when I say, what were those stretching exercises? I'll find them there. Doesn't make sense to just have them just loose in my photos, because then I'll go 2 years later, where were those exercises for stretching my ankle? But if I put them under health, that will work, right? So I just try to be logical like that. So if you're a writer, you might have that. If you're a designer, you might have that. So all I can tell you is my basic stuff. And then under personal, I have, for example, stuff for my kids. There's a lot of information of my kids in schools and travel and stuff like that. So that's my life. Like every time I have in my folder called travel, I have 85 types of packing lists because we go camping, we go skiing, we go bicycling, we stay overnight at my in-laws, I go to Argentina. So depending on the trip, I'll have pre-made kind of a packing list that reminds me quickly how to get stuff. I have the packing list for when my kids were little. I have the packing list now, doesn't have all the junk that when my kids were little. So yeah, that's the kind of thing I do.
Can you drop and drag the photos that are in your photos into a file? I love that idea, and I do a lot of photos of stuff, but then I have 440,000 photos. So can I just bring my photos in and drag it into a file folder?
Yes and no.
Okay.
If you do that, then you duplicate them and then you have them twice, and that's a mess. So if you're gonna want them in your personal files and not in your Photos app, you can drag them and put them there, but they take them out of your Photos app. It's weird if you have them
Right.
twice, right? But yeah, I mean, you can have them twice, you just duplicate the space in your computer. But ideally, I don't have my client work in my Photos app, for
Gotcha.
example. Photos for my client work are in my client work, and they're not part of my Photos app, which is a bit the answer to Barbara that she said before. There's work that I'm doing that has nothing to do with personal work, then I have it under client work. Those are where I have photos, and my Photos app I use for personal work, for personal photos, my kids, my trips, my stuff. So I have my photos in two different parts in my computer, depending on what kind of photos they are. All right. I'm looking at, let me end, snooze, a question. I took your Living the iLife class last summer. Can I access those old recordings? Yes and no. If they're still there, yes, you can access them. If they're not there, then no. But here, I'm going to answer that question a little bit bigger. You guys know by now that I put all the class files always in my my student the student folder, the shared drives, right? So here's the thing. What is it? 1 second. I'm signing, let me share this screen. I recommend, if you're ever going to want to have the recordings for files like these, if you later want someday these recordings, to download the list. So now I'm going into student resources, Google Drive. I'm going to the handouts, right? Shared drives. And then in shared drives, Mac Intro level 1 and 2 shared drives. Okay. So here are the class files that I have for this. And these are Mac Intro level 1 and 2. So notice that right now I am putting things under Zoom class recordings Mac level 1. I'll double click that. You've seen this before because this is where I put all of these. And as you can see, all the links are here except for today's, which is going to go here. Now, this is going to stay in this folder until January when I start my Let's class. But when I start my Let's class, so from here until January, you come here and click on this link and you'll see it. When I start my next class, I'll erase this one and I'll put in a blank one with the days for January's class. Does that make sense? So then you won't have access to these, but the links are the videos are still online. So if you go to this page and download it, or into your own computer, you can forever click on this link and access this file, because I don't take the videos off of internet. What you need is the links. I don't have any other way to tell you how to find these unless you're in those links. So in my case, in the shared drives, there's a different folder for my iLife, right? So if you're still connected to that one from the summer, which you should be, because I haven't taken it down yet, then there are my class recording links for iLife Summer 2023, and these are them. So they're from June through August. This is when I taught that class. So you should still have that connection under the shared drives live, because I haven't taught it again. So that'll stay there until probably next year when I teach a class again. Then I'll disconnect you and I'll put my new students in. I leave everyone connected to all of this until I teach the next version of that class. So if I don't teach this until next summer, you'll have a whole year for them. If I teach it in the spring, you'll have these here until spring. I recommend, now that you're still here, go in, download this one. You download by doing a right click and saying download, or you can go to these three dots, right click on that and say download, and then it'll live in your downloads folder as a file. Whenever you want to watch these recordings, Mac level 1, intro to the Mac, all of that, just go to your downloads folder and there's the links. But if you didn't download it and you're trying to get class files from 2 sessions ago, no, you're not.
I did not know you could do that.
Okay, so thanks for asking that. I've showed it all to you. So if you guys want to have access to these recordings, You will up until January. And at some point in January, if you don't take my class again, you won't. If you take my class again, you'll continue beyond because I only give access to people in the roster. Okay? In the roster, the current roster. So,
That's really good to know.
so cool. That's a good question, Sarah. And I'm glad that that answer helps for a lot of you guys. Chris had a question that I want to answer in the chat. The difference between backup and storage. For example, I accidentally delete a file and the auto sync has occurred since I deleted it. So this is important. Very important. And this I will really talk about next class because guess what? Next class, Mac Level 2, is all about teaching you how to use your apps. And one of those apps is the backup, the Time Machine app. So this is a partial answer is today, and another partial answer will be next session. The partial answer is if you delete a file accidentally on your computer and your stuff is in the cloud. You guys answer. If I download a file and delete it, will I be able to recover it from anywhere? Imagine that I've already gotten rid of my trash. So I download something into my computer. Think of the question. I download something into my computer and then I delete it from my computer. And I've emptied the trash. Can I recover it? Come on, it's not a hard answer. It's not a hard question. Someone dare? I am seeing someone, Chris, in fact, who asked the question, I'm seeing you say no. Because why? Where do the downloads files live? Nope, they live on your computer. Downloaded files live on your computer. I've mentioned it many times that downloaded files live only in your computer. So if you download something and you delete it, then it just isn't in your computer anymore. So yes, you lose it. Now, if instead you have your files up in the cloud, so it's in your documents folder and your document folder is all in the cloud. You have it in your cloud, in your phone, and in your computer. So now I go ahead and delete it from my computer. Will I find it somewhere else? Lynn says no. How many people agree with Lynn? Okay, Catherine agrees with Lynn. Jackie, you did something. I'm not sure if you're in agreement or not. It's on the cloud. Okay. No, I will not find it anywhere because if I delete it from my computer, not in your case, Jackie, though, because your stuff is not in the cloud. But for people whose stuff is in the cloud, if I delete it from my computer, it deletes from the cloud, it deletes from my phone. It is one file being broadcast everywhere. So same answer. If I delete it, no matter if it's in the cloud or in your computer, and I empty my trash, I will not find it because it's not retrievable. It's gone. It's forgotten, gone and lost. So a cloud is not a backup. It is the exact same thing. So if I delete something from my computer, it deletes from the cloud. Thus, it does not work as a backup. Does that make sense? Now, the only exception is people who haven't connected their things to the cloud and they're using as an external storage, but I'm not going to go there because basically if you delete it, it's gone. So the only way to save something that you've already deleted and emptied your trash, whether from your computer or from the cloud, is if you use a time machine. And that is what I'll start explaining next week. What's a time machine? How do you use it? That's the only place. And that's why even people whose stuff is back up to the cloud still have to have a time machine. Because if you delete a file in your computer, it's gone from everywhere. It's not gone from your time machine because that is a true backup. You can go back to the time machine and save it from your time machine. Okay. So for anyone who wants to know about time machine, what's the thing they say in TVs? To be continued next Tuesday. Then we'll talk about time machines. Barbara, I had to unplug it. When I plug it back, do you have to do anything? No, just plug it in. Your computer will keep backing up to it. All right, let me show you one last thing that I wanted to show you before we go. I've been, and this is, if you're already comfortable with how to view your Finder window, I've shown it to you so many times that life is good, you got it, this is how the Finder window works, then perfect. Meaning if I want to find something, I open this up, there's the files of those pictures and files to print. And then I want to look what's in there, I go in there, this is what's in there, and that's good. That's one way to do things. I want to see what's in my class files, then I want to see what's in my Excel class. Basically, I just kind of open up and look. That's one thing. By the way, this is an example of a folder that's not necessarily very well organized because I have Excel, Mac level 2, Photoshop, and then I have loose files everywhere. So ideally, I should look at this and go, where does this belong? And put it in Excel. And where does this belong? Put it in Mac, right? And I should have folders that, if I have loose stuff that's neither one or the other, I could have a folder in here called miscellaneous class files, maybe files about how to teach HyFlex, for example, which doesn't belong to a cloud, but it's about teaching. Then I have a folder called, teaching files or stuff like that. Great. Now, I want to show you one other way to look at files. Some people find this way easier, and some find the other way easier. But this one, everything is in one place. And you open it up by opening the folder, closing the folder, opening up, then there's something inside, you open up, you close, you close. That's pretty clear. The other view that I haven't shared with you, that's the list view. If you switch to column view, for some people, this one is easier. I'm always torn. Sometimes I teach the list view, sometimes I teach the column view. I'm always torn about which one is easier. So what I've noticed is when I teach both, people get confused. So now I've decided that each class, when I teach it in one way or another. That way people have a whole 6 classes of one way or another. But now that we're at the very end of the last class, I want to show you the column view, because for some people, it makes more sense and it might help you. Notice that in columns view, there's no little arrows next to my folders like before that I can open. What happens is that when I click on a folder, what's inside of it shows up in the second column. So I see a little arrow right there pointing, see this little pointing here. So in client work, I have these files. If I go to Excel 123 solution files, this is inside of Excel 123 solution. If I go to class files, this is inside of class files. Does that make sense? Then I go, well, this is inside of class files. I wonder what's in Excel. This is final. This is like, there's nothing else. This is the file itself. So when I click on it, get a little preview. But if I click on another folder, it opens up in another folder and it goes, oh, in Excel class, you have this data generator. So if I look down at the path, Excel class is in class files, it's in documents. So basically this is inside, this is the inside of that. This is the inside of that. Now I'm going to go to Mac class, or let me see if I have another folder somewhere. No, I don't seem to have folders within folders here. These all seem to be one. If I go to Adobe, these are folders. I click on Adobe Media Encoder, there's another folder. Click on this one, there's more folders, and it keep going on and on and on. Like I have to go in archive workspaces, logs, save workspaces, sync backup. So this means there's nothing, and these are empty folders, okay? But this folder had a folder inside of it. This folder has 2 folders inside of it. I'm going to follow one. There's nothing in there. Now about the last one, there's nothing in there. So when there's nothing, that means that this is an empty folder. Does that make sense? This is not an empty folder. It has a folder in it. This one has 2 folders in it. So some people really like this much better. The only reason I like this better, again, I don't think that you have much information about the files in this case, which is why I like the lists better. See how I can't sort by name or by anything? See how this view? It's really good to see what's inside of stuff, but it doesn't let me say, well, sort these by name, sort them by size, sort them by kind. So when I'm asking you guys to clean up your computers, I find that sorting by list view is better because you have a lot of information here to see how old, how big, how whatever. But if you go by column view, it's much easier. Once you know what you want to get rid of, which you got rid of in the other mode, losing all the info, this one's easier to move things around. So say that I go into class files and I just go, oh, this isn't a class file. This should be under, I don't know, files to print. It's so easy to grab it from here and just drop it in files to print because I've got it right there. And then I go back and I go to files to print and go, oh, these pictures should not be in here. This should be a folder on its own. So I'm going to go and drop it right there. So see how easy it is to move from place to place. I go, oh, these pictures should have been in miscellaneous. Let me drop it in there, right? And so it's just easier to actually drag things from place to place. You go look at the place that this is the file you want to move. Then you drag it over and you drop it in whatever place it needs to go, right? And so it's easier to move things around. List view is easier to discover what's up with the files and sort all your files, your kind of files together, et cetera, et cetera. So I use both of these views depending on what I'm doing. When I'm trying to, find my latest files, my biggest files, my oldest files, I definitely 90% of the times I look at things in list view. But if I'm in the middle of organizing stuff, this one's easier to drag from place to place. If this resulted in helpful information, please go for it and play around with it. If this is like one more thing you just don't want to deal with, then hey, ignore what I just did and keep doing things the one way, because it's not necessary to do both ways. It's just another method that for some people might be easier. If I go to downloads and I look at all my downloads file and I say, okay, this one I want to keep, I'm going to put it in my documents folder. I would have to now drop it in documents and then from documents, put it in financial. But if I'm looking at this downloads in column view, right? And I want to move this one into documents, then I might be able to just move it straight in to the place they need to go in, right? Because it's a bit easier. So anyway, just that. And then, so anyway, that's just an idea I wanted to share with you, as in consider how other ways I can look at your Finder to make things easy. And then the last thing I want to share with you, in this class, we haven't used any apps. We haven't actually had to open an app and make files or save files, right? So I'm going to go ahead and give you a sample, and then after that, class will be open. By the way, I want to acknowledge that it's 12:15 has come and gone. For those of you who the class finished 12:15, remember I've always been doing the extra 15 minutes to make up for the 2 hours that I missed the second day of class when I had to go to my pre-op meeting. So I'm still here. Not that I didn't notice the class is over, but it's not over for my makeup time. Okay. So, so I'm going to open an app, and one of the apps that I can use, for example, is Pages or Numbers or Keynote. Remember, I could be actually opening Word, Excel, something like that. But since we're in the Mac class, I'm going to open Pages. So I'm going to open Pages, which is equivalent to a Word. So I'm going to share my screen. And I'm going to open Pages, which I have here. And when I open Pages, it asks me if I want to open a file. So here we go. I've just opened Pages. If you don't know how to use Pages, I'm not about to teach you how to use an app. I'm going to teach you a universal truth. This is for Pages, for Numbers, for Keynote, for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Photoshop, Lightroom, whatever application you open, no matter what, applications where you create files, not applications where you receive stuff. Like this isn't the same for mail, for the internet. You don't create things on the internet. You look at stuff, right? This is for applications of the kinds where you make new things. So this is Pages is like Word. It's to write something. So I'm going to open up a blank page. And here I go. I have a blank page, and I'm going to make, I don't know, I'm going to make, this is a chocolate chip recipe.
What file?
And I'm gonna say ingredients, and I'm gonna say, I don't know, flour, sugar, etc. Okay, so this is a file that I just created. Now, the
Okay.
biggest question is, how do I save it in the right place? A lot of people who use apps, the biggest thing is that you don't know where to save things or how to save, where to put things. And that's what happens. People go, well, I can always see it in the desktop. So a lot of people's files end up on the desktop because of not knowing how to save things in the right place. Now, you guys have figured out how to navigate your computer. You know how to do this, even though you don't know how to do this because of what I've taught you. So let me show. I'm going to go ahead and say that I want to save this file. File save. And instead of saving it to nowhere land, I'm going to call it chocolate chip cookies, right? Over here it's telling me, where do you want to save it? Now, this is the small version of the save, right? But ideally, I want, whenever people save, I like to see my entire thing. If I save this way, which is the default little tiny box, where do you think, if I hit save right now, where do you think I'm going to find the chocolate chip cookie recipe?
Alphabetically and just in your open documents folder?
Loose in my documents folder, exactly. If instead of my documents folder, I want to save it onto my desktop, I could do that and it would be loose on my desktop. If instead I wanted to put it in my downloads, I could change that and put it in my downloads. But no, I actually want to put it in my in the right place, which is my desktop. So sorry, my documents folder. So how do I get to that documents folder, but not loose? How do I put it in a folder that holds my recipes, that is inside of my personal files? Like, how do I put it in the right place? You know what I mean? So in this case, I'm going to click on this little arrow right there. And now I get the big window. And what does this big window look like? You guys familiar to this window, right? This is just
that's your Finder window.
So I'm going to go ahead and say, save it in my documents, but not just in my documents, which is what have happened before. See here, it says documents. I want to put it in my personal files, and in my personal files, I want to put it in my recipes. So this is showing up kind of in column view. You see that? I'm a personal inside of my recipes, and it's chocolate chips. So I'm going to put it here in dessert. I'm going to say save. So now this file, I'm going to hide this for a second. When I go to my Finder window and I need to find it, well, there it is in my recents because I just made it. So there it is under my recents, it's at the top. If I click on it, it tells me where it is. And it's correct. It's in the desserts folder of my recipe. Yeah, chocolate chip cookies aren't a dessert, but anyway, bear with me. They're in the desserts folder of my recipes, which is in my personal, which is in my documents. There it is. I put it not just in my documents loose in the middle of everywhere. It's not loose here, which is what have happened. I actually went into personal, into recipes, and into desserts. And there it is. That's the one I just created. It's already stored in the right place. Does that make sense, you guys? Once you have a good structure, then it's easy to find that structure from anywhere. You can create anything and save it wherever you want. Say that this is going to be, I don't know, my big novel, right? And here we go, Once Upon a Time, right? And I'm going to change, I'm going to save this one and call this one novel 1, right? Then I'm going to go ahead and save that. And here's the same situation. If I go and, this is another place you can save from. And again, it tells you where do you want to save it. So I'm going to go into documents. If I save it right now, that's going to end up loose in my documents. Watch. There it is. This is my documents folder and it's loose, right? It's just loose. It's like, doesn't make sense. The chocolate chip cookies would have been loose here. You want to save things in the right place from the start. And that is saving it into the right place from the start instead of having to then move it in. That's all. The save fact, the save window looks exactly like this Finder window. So if you know one, you know the other, all right? Instead of having to automatically always assume that you need to save things just to your desktop to find them. Now, creating that structure, you can put things in the right place, even from the moment they're being created. All right. Okay, Barbara?
Quick question. But if I download one of the videos and then I save it, should I put it in a folder inside downloads, or where would you suggest putting?
Videos, I would suggest that if you have a folder called class files and you have a folder for mine, for Bruce, for whatever, then put it in Deanna's class files or put it under Mac class
Videos
files.
under the, okay.
I would have a class file for files you download from the different classes. If you only to have a few files downloaded, one class files is enough. If you take many classes, then all teachers give you many different files. Then you might want to have subfolders called, you know, my Excel class, my Photoshop class, my Mac class, you know.
But not in downloads, in
the documents, yeah. Unless you use them once and don't want them anymore, leave them in downloads, use it, and then trash it. Okay, so really, it's not like downloads should not be used. It just should be used for things that are temporary. If it's an invitation to a party, why store it in your documents? Go to that party and trash the invitation. So leave it in downloads. It's the temporary place. It's fine.
Thank you.
I have no reason to keep forever. But once you're going to keep it, because you always want to go back to those videos, that should go into your documents folder. Okay, so that's a big difference. The stuff that you want to keep in your documents. The stuff that you just transitionally want to use for a little bit and never again, put it in your downloads. And when you're done with it, get rid of it. All right. All right, guys.
Thank you.
I'm gonna help a little bit Barbara here. I'm gonna close up and help her that I told her I'd help her a little bit after. I thought I said I'd help people register, but in the end, since I got two of those questions, I kind of went through that, and Denise, we figured out that you can't register why. And Catherine, yeah, we figured that out. Okay, so I think I'm done. Oh, Sarah. Otherwise, if you need to leave, it was great. I hope I see you all again next Tuesday. If I don't see you next Tuesday, then I'll see you some other class. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye. Yes,
Hope
Sarah.
you feel better.
Yeah, I do need to not have too many questions, but I'm kind of getting really tired right now. So yeah, Sarah, you're muted. You are muted. I can't hear you.
Okay, I put in the chat, what Mac app can open an Adobe file? I know with Sheets, you can open up Excel. Is there any?
An Adobe a PDF, you mean?
Yeah,
yeah,
PDF.
A PDF.
And you want to make changes to it.
Yeah, by the way, Sheets is not a Mac app. That's my mistake. It's Numbers. Sheets is a Google app.
Oh,
So
okay.
Google Numbers will open Excel. And an Adobe file that's a PDF can be opened with Acrobat, Photoshop with Photoshop, Illustrator with Illustrator. So each different, like Excel opens with Excel, so the spreadsheet, so photos. But if it's a PDF, then it'll open with the Adobe Reader.
Right, but if you were wanting to make changes to that.
Well, if it's a PDF, the only way to make changes to a PDF, and just the PDF, which is supposed to be the kind of file that you can't make changes to, that's its goal, that's its reason to be. But if you own a professional version of Adobe DC, like the actual, you have to pay for it separately. It's not even part of the cloud. It's an expensive file. You can modify existing PDFs. You can get in there and modify them. It's hard. It's not easy to use, but it's possible. But the whole point of a PDF is that it shouldn't be modifiable, so it's hard to modify
Yeah,
a PDF.
I just was wondering. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
All right.
You take good
welcome.
care of yourself, my dear.
Thank you. I will. I'll go rest. My class tomorrow is on Zoom, so that means that I won't have to be in person until next Tuesday. So it should be much better next Tuesday.
Okay, be well.
All
Thank
right.
you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Deanna.
Bye, everyone. You're welcome. You're welcome. Oh, Denise, let me see. I'll send you email. Okay. Yeah, great. Thank you. See you then. See everyone. Bye,
you.
Mary. Bye, Chris. Bye, Barbara. Oh,
Thank
Barbara's still
you.
here. Bye. Let me close this one. And now let me help you, Barbara, here in person.